How every movie is gonna start in 2035 after Disney buys the entire film industry. This movie is based on a true story. Also the movie. Adding ing to the end of a movie title. What is the movie plot now? Jurassic Parking. Teaching dinosaurs how to drive. Making a movie and making an animated movie. 51 movies, 1 Oscar. 1 movie, 1 Oscar. Eminem is the better actor. One of the biggest crimes in the whole movie is Kevin not eating the mac and cheese. 12 minutes into the movie and my boyfriend has already passed out. He's seen it before with his real girlfriend. In this scene of the movie Matrix, actor Keanu Reeves didn't take any help of CGI or any kind of VFX. He literally stopped all the bullets with his own hands. Your Honor, you don't understand. My client had to end those men as part of his 5-movie character arc. Hollywood actors only making $4 million from a film. Me finding a quarter on the ground. Sneakily and quietly escaping prison. Style on all 1,000 guards. Create one of the coolest scenes in movie history and destroy the prison. This is Benji and his favorite movie is Moana. He loves to sing and dance along with the movie. What movie do you want to see the all-female reboot of? 300 with the exact same costumes. Hear me out though. I'm not hearing you out. That's a shark. Actor who died in movie appears in another movie. 7-year-old me. No, it can't be. A real bullet and me at a 3D movie. This is the only way I can explain it. Me, the movie, subtitles. Honestly, subtitles make the movie so much more enjoyable for me. When the hero is about to fall off a cliff, his friend who disappeared at the beginning of the movie. The most intense movie scene ever. This made me sick to watch as a kid. The Ghost of Tsushima movie could be entirely in Japanese with a Japanese cast. No way, really? Who would have thought? Creepy house from the movie The Conjuring sold for 1.2 million above the asking price. The house is over 300 years old. Canadians think the Titanic was a real event and not just a movie. How dumb can you be? I really hope you're kidding. What is something that's completely normal in movies, but would be weird and even psychotic in real life? When 10 bad guys politely wait their turn to get beaten up by the hero instead of just mobbing him. What is preventing you from moving to New York? Spider-Man isn't real. How do you know? He could be. If someone tells you that you look like an elf, then you should check with them whether they are a fan of Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. If anything happens to Crypto, I'm gonna become John Wick. Normal people, just watch the movie. Me, trying to see if the actors who just died in the movie are breathing. Sometimes I randomly think about this conversation and start laughing. What movie? Don't worry, darling. I won't worry, just give me the name. In Madagascar the movie, they had to use CGI to animate the animals due to the fact that giraffes don't exist. Wait, which planet are you from? What you see versus what I see? A whole generation traumatized by one movie. People in the movie based on a true story, and the person in the end credits. Drive-in movie theater to reopen after nearly 4 decades. The return of the king of movies. The rise of Skywalker, but it's just lazy writing. Weird, you didn't upload the whole movie. Movie theater be like, I bet you can't drink a massive cup of soda then hold your piss for an entire Marvel movie, which is like 3 hours long. Literally any movie with a jungle in it exists. The cast. Bonjour. Bullies in real life. Nobody likes you. Movie bullies. Tries to hit the crippled child with their car. So unhinged. Wife unaware that the movie will answer all of her questions if she just pays attention. Villains in kids shows. Villains in action movie, and then villains in horror films. Wait, if you blew an air horn in the ear of those Quiet Place things, not to sound like an annoying, I would survive a horror movie person, but here's how I would win. I have a 3rd movie, and this is my 3rd movie. I want a 3rd movie too. Titanic, the first movie to gross 1 billion. Avatar, 2 billion. Morbius, the first movie to flop twice. Did you know that in the movie Dune, the sandworm is played by Christian Bale? He gained over 350,000 pounds for the role. Thought this was a beautiful goth woman, but turns out it's just Megamind in his Black Mamba platform boots. Moana 2 has now surpassed 717 million at the worldwide box office. Isn't it weird that it's making so much numbers, but you barely hear anyone talking about it? Well, yeah, because they're all 7-year-olds watching. This movie is intended for 18+ viewers. Me, watching the movie alone instead of with 17 other people. Bored Ape Yacht Club is getting its own film trilogy. The Emoji Movie. Perhaps I treated you too harshly. The best joke in the entire movie. You will order the princess to marry me. I will order the princess to, but you're so old. Jafar needs to be locked up. Is this really just Texas? People in Texas eat pickles at movie theaters and had no idea no one else does. People eat movies. Babe, what did I just say? My family watching a movie and me explaining where we've seen each actor before. They really ask me questions like I'm the director. This movie was so bad that Aang has a permanent downvote symbol on his head. If you watch the movie Jaws backwards, it becomes the heartwarming story about a shark who swims around giving arms and legs to disabled people. At this point in our culture, I'm very surprised that there aren't people with nut allergies boycotting the Peanuts movies. Remember when 50 Cent lost all that weight to play a cancer patient and still nobody saw the movie? Michael Fry liked your tweet. Over the Hedge is low-key a top 10 movie of all time. Michael Fry followed you. And Michael Fry is the co-creator writer of Over the Hedge. Everything wrong with Lilo and Stitch. Everyone disliked that. When I say film instead of movie, showing this to a 2012 Marvel fan is the equivalent of giving a medieval child a Cheeto. My most watched movies of the year. How do you watch a movie 406 times in a year? That is 366 days long. I can't even rewatch a movie once. Like, I struggle. Define range. William Dafoe. Rat. William Dafoe. Jesus. Why are there no night museums? There are 3 movies explaining what happens at night to the museums. The live-action Fortnite movie will reportedly feature 2 doing the deed scenes. 15 tickets to Fortnite movie, please. I take off my shirt in a movie. It's rated R. You do it and it's PG-13. That doesn't seem fair. Lone resident of Nebraska town surprised when census shows population doubled. Now this is a horror movie I would watch. Perry, the donkey who served as the donkey model for Shrek, has passed away at the age of 30. Rest in peace. You are a great actor. The difference between this Clark Kent and Superman is insane. And why are you even comparing Superman to some random news writer? What a legend. His roles and his Instagram. Hwang Dong-hyuk says money is what convinced him to make Squid Games 2, even though the first series was such a huge global success. Honestly, I didn't make much, so doing the second series will help compensate me for the success of the first one. Very honest and valid answer. I'm at the movie theater, and when the ad stopped playing, they forgot to put the movie on. We're sitting in a pitch black theater, nobody is moving or speaking. Help. I would break the silence by eating some popcorn, having a drink. I just play myself in every movie starter pack. Where's Johnny Sins? The cost of the movie The Martian, 108 million. Cost of Indian Mars mission, 73 million. We're spending more on movies than going to space. Warner Bros. Is selling 10 fully functional but not street legal Tumbler Batmobiles from Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight films. Each is priced at 3 million. 3 mil is a small price to pay to become the literal Batman. Adam Sandler movie wife starter pack. Him, his wife/girlfriend, and Matt Damon movie wife starter pack. Dead. In the movie Shazam, we can see that the movie bears a striking resemblance to the movie Pet Sematary. This is a subtle nod to the fact that I entered the wrong theater. You watch a 2-hour movie. I watch a 5-hour review of why the movie sucks. We are not the same. If you were offered 1 million to watch the same movie for 24 hours straight, which movie do you choose? This is going to be easy. Interstellar. A lot of movie theaters had cry rooms you could take your children to if they were becoming disruptive. This way you could still enjoy the movie while not disturbing other moviegoers. When you're watching a movie with your family and a sexual scene comes on. Yo, hey look at you, ground. Y'all remember this movie? What the hell was this? I don't know, but I found it so funny. I just hope the Spider-Man movie lives up to expectations. The expectations. I would survive a horror movie. The murderer shows up to my house and I'm just like, sir, your vibes are disgusting. Vibe check. Boom. Disney. We want to do a movie about a vegetable family. Pixar. Develops Onion Mum. Scientists in a movie explaining how a wormhole works starter pack. I think I ordered the wrong Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Pick a movie, keep 1 actor. The rest are played by Muppets. Star Wars is way ahead of you. Hakuna Matata. Whoa, I was having an out-of-movie experience. Disney cartoon movie villain. They got away? Find them. Girls, I went through a whole box of tissues watching that movie. Guys, I went through a whole box of tissues watching that movie. Is it true that this is the first line of the movie? My name is Doug Avatar, and I'm back to do more avataring. Every teen movie. I'm seeing 2 women and exploring my options. I'm the bad guy. I'm seeing 2 guys and exploring my options. I'm the protagonist. Well, it's whoever the main character is. Not really because they're a woman. Why is every author a #1 best-selling author? Why is every toothpaste the #1 recommended toothpaste? Why do my parents hate me? Why is every movie the #1 movie in America? Me, after rewatching a childhood favorite movie and realizing how bad the CGI visual effects were. Just a reminder that John Cena's first serious film role was as Fred's dad from Fred, the movie. Okay, but seriously, what was your first reaction when you saw this? I wish I was on that ship instead of watching this movie. Yeah, this meme for some reason cropped out what she's doing. She's destroying a ship. Hear me out. Sure. I would love to see a movie with Waluigi and Wario. Show me the first MCU movie. I said the first MCU movie. Perfection. Movie studio. Okay, so we got this cool female space marine soldier bounty hunter. Movie barber. Say no more. When you realize the first Shrek movie came out 19 years ago. 19? Godzilla at the end of the movie after teaming up with Kong to defeat the real villain. Millions of books that can be made into movies. Remake of every movie from the past 20 years. I Photoshop Paddington into a movie, game, or TV show until I forget. Day 597. The universe decided to punish humanity. Release of Cats movie, things going bad. It's okay to put the movie theater butter on your hot dog. They can't stop you, experts say. 6-year-old me. OMG, T-Rex with funny hat. Adult me. This movie is very heartwarming and charming. I loved Meet the Robinsons. Turns out a major component every zombie movie was missing was a large contingent of people just straight up refusing to admit that a zombie apocalypse was happening. Movie spoilers. Peter Park's aunt dies in No Way Home. No, why? Car spoilers. Adam Sandler films a movie in Egypt. Where's his hot wife? Interstellar might be one of the best sci-fi movies ever made, but the core concept of the movie is love. The movie isn't about saving the world or being a hero, but a dad who promised his daughter he's coming back and to stay. Well, yeah, it's like love can go through space and nothing is stronger than love, basically. Every disaster movie begins with a scientist being ignored. How did his head get so big? Still thinking of this. For the last time, guys, his webs only come out of his wrist and not from anywhere else. Sir, a second child has been sucked into the chocolate river. If you watch Jaws backwards, it's about a shark who throws up so many people they have to open a beach. May your 2024 be filled with right side of Harrison Ford's face energy only. Dear filmmakers, please do not make your films so dark that I can see my reflection in the screen. Thanks. Name a single movie without a kissing scene. My life. What the Predator sees after 15 seconds of chasing me. Christopher Nolan and backshots. Goodbye, Netflix and chill. It's time for... They got Mario Kart in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Disgusting. They had to include woke pride flag nonsense. Mario Kart is now woke nonsense for having Rainbow Road apparently. Head explosion effect in Blender, Christopher Nolan. This takes way too much effort. Exploding the real head and filming it would be much easier. Dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why would Aquaman's suit need to dry? What is the weirdest fact you know? The noises the raptors made in Jurassic Park were actually turtles smashing. I've read so many reviews for Dune 2, but haven't seen a single mention of Christian Bale's incredible performance. Christian Bale gains £450,000 to play Sandworm in Dune remake. Who cares? Trump isn't even the first actor from Home Alone 2 to have his mugshot released. His favorite movie is Drive or American Psycho. Among the top 10 turnoffs for women, the majority of millennials and Gen Z use subtitles when watching TV, survey reveals. Off topic, but this lady sucks at eating popcorn. Only one other guy seeing this movie. I'm about to make this guy's night. This is wrong on every level. Just took a red pill and a blue pill at the same time. Let's go! If actors could build a team out of characters they've played, whose team would be untouchable? What scientists thought dinosaurs looked like in the 80s and 90s? What scientists think of dinosaurs now? Saw someone mention this, and honestly, it's one of my new favorite ship dynamics. Girl boss and just a guy. This is what the gym does for you. Insane transformation. Anime Reactor is heartbroken to discover Nicolas Cage is being tortured by a swarm of bees.
In space, no one can hear you just scream.
I would not survive a jigsaw trap because he would have to repeat the instructions several times. It made Knuckles into a freaking anime girl. Robert De Niro, aged 7 in 1950. This is a bit hard to process. He has an iPad face. Tom Holland continues the tradition of having a gay doing the deed in non-Spider-Man related products, just like Andrew and Toby. I did not know this was a thing. Are they like all made to do this to become Spider-Man? Eddie Brock is the realest hitter of all time. Bro went to church to ask God directly to kill Peter Parker. I gotta respect it. Have you ever noticed how in every movie that has apes in it, the orangutans are always the shaman class and the gorillas are the tanks? I'm glad we can all agree on that. Who was getting the hardest bars off? Bane blew up a whole stadium and started talking to the crowd like it was a halftime show. I don't care that Thanos wiped out half the universe. Bane broke Batman in front of the women while reciting spoken word poetry. Sci-fi is when Hugo Weaving looks like this, and fantasy is when Hugo Weaving looks like this. Now this was an error. But did you read the book? Look in error. Disney's 7, Frozen Elsa's head. Is it too much to ask Hollywood to make a movie with Finn Wolfhard, Ezra Miller, Adam Driver, and Keanu Reeves playing the same character in different periods of time? I don't know anything about Dune, but from this poster, it looks like it's about a giant chihuahua chasing some tiny people. Me heading to work. Happy Feet, original score music. The first Fast and Furious movie. Finally watching Avatar, The Way of Water, how James Cameron intended. When people ask an independent filmmaker why their night footage doesn't look like it does in a studio movie, Joker ending explained, those names were the people who worked on the film. Qui-Gon, you have been freed. You're no longer a slave. Anakin, wow, thank you, Qui-Gon. Lol, call me master. Anything you Photoshop Mr. Bean in makes it hilarious. The guy in the background looks just like Keanu Reeves. This is what happens when there's a glitch in the Matrix. Indiana Jones, more like Fedora the Explorer. I'm deleting. Who wore it better? King Julian? Yeah, definitely King Julian. Moment of silence for all of the good books that turned into horrible, inaccurate movies. Quarantine King. He was truly ahead of his time. Before Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet was wielded by the most powerful human in the universe, and was used to heal the world. I often think about how Timothy looked so cold, while just listening to David on set, that they used the picture for the main movie poster. The T-Rex at the end of Jurassic World is the same exact one from the end of the original Jurassic Park, and the scars on its side are from its fight with the Velociraptors in the first movie. Chris Hemsworth is really that guy who takes pictures of the paparazzis while they're taking pictures of him. I'm sorry, but this is still the single greatest movie frame in the entire history of cinema. Can anyone identify this bug? Found it in my backyard. Seems sure. We need a Latino actor. Automatically the American director. The crossover we need. He'd shoot him on sight, thinking it's a new kind of infected. Actors and their stunt doubles. Did Anne Hathaway make a deal with the devil? She is literally aging backwards. Literally, what do people think women in their 30s normally look like? This is going to be one of those pictures in like 20 years. Young Zendaya doing promo for her film Challenges, 2024. In Joker, Arthur suffers from a condition that causes him to laugh loudly and uncontrollably, even when things are not funny. When he tries to do stand-up, he has difficulty finishing a joke due to laughing too hard. This is a reference to Jimmy Fallon, who the character is based on. When I watched this, I wondered how they got a 14-year-old actor to look like this, and in an interview, the director said, yeah, we hypnotized him and then fired live ammunition at him throughout all of the filming, lol. And yeah, that tracks. I don't want to hurt you. You're so full of shiitake mushrooms. Skeletons ooshing. Was this movie real? Wanna go see a movie this weekend? Yeah, let me check my wallet, 1 second. I actually can't hate the Percy Jackson Lightning Thief movie. Logan Lerman used an iPod Touch to kill Medusa. I'm sorry, that's just too good. If you watch Shrek backwards, it's about an insane ogre who kidnaps a man's wife and puts her in a tower, alienates his friends, and winds up living alone in a swamp. Why the hell are movies so dark now? What's going on with the lighting? All these shadows make it so difficult to watch. Tom is actually me, ignoring every human, only paying attention to the dog. So we meet again. For the love of God, Batman. I'm not the Joker. 2000s movies are as old now as the 80s were to the 2000s. Define wasted potential. We were so lucky to grow up watching Robin Williams. Aladdin was amazing. A fictional character's death that you have not gotten over. Mine is this person. Leonardo DiCaprio unrecognizable in first photos of new film. Is it because the photo shows him next to a woman over 30? Would you still love me if I was a worm? Babe, it's been 2 months. Time to consume another nostalgia bait remake from your childhood. Yes, corporation. There are no rules. I'm gonna get you. This is the best movie on the planet. About 2 rocks? I haven't watched this. You know you're screwed when a missile is aimed towards you and it literally has your name on it. Irony man. When you read they've finally given up on trying to make any more lame Terminator sequels. Thumbs up. Pull my finger. The fact that we got a Bond film in 2006 and 2008 but not 2007. The only year with 007 in it for 1,000 years. That does not sit right with me. 15 years ago, The Dark Knight and Mamma Mia released on the same day. The Dark Mama walked so Barbenheimer could run. One Netflix subscriber watched BoJack Horseman so much. Netflix reportedly checked in on him. When you buy 1 popcorn and a drink at the movie theater, a bill, $10,000. Dogezilla versus Chim Kong. Dogezilla wins. What if computer turn off, Black Mirror? Make Shrek the national bird. The petition is nearly all signed. mind. Keep going. Stalkers be like, I know a place, and just take you here. Outside Mexico, inside Mexico, me deciding whether to base my entire personality off the Riddler or the Batman for the next 2 months. Christopher Nolan after using a real atomic bomb instead of CGI in Oppenheimer. If you watch Madagascar backwards, it's about a group of animals who get fed up with dancing lemurs, lock themselves up in boxes, and ship themselves to a zoo. Fun fact, this moment wasn't scripted. A child just wandered on set and Jesse Pymans shot him in the chest unprompted. Now that's improv. Anyone here bought the Blade Runner coat from Amazon? Is it good? I wear it over my drive jacket. Women crying in makeup is something which can be very personal. Can't believe the film/TV industry thinks it can trick me into believing these are all different actresses and not the same woman at different stages of her life. Ryan Gosling is so... I feel like Ryan Gosling as Ken is as close as we've gotten to someone method acting. A nice, silly character instead of a douche. OG Thanos needs to be a variant. This is the version of Thanos who owns the Thanos copter. We live in a society so deep. The fight we've all been waiting for. It's going down, Charlie Brown. Shrek versus Ralph. Who are you betting on? I like Ralph more, I'm not gonna lie. Just found one of the craziest stock pictures ever. You've spun your last web, Spider-Man. There is no way this is an actual poster for Dune 2. Horror movie fans be like, I need to relax, and put on a movie where a woman saws her own head off with piano wire. Dimitri, do you really think I'm royalty? You know I do. Then stop bossing me around. He has a shots fired notebook. I'm so done. It's so nice of them to lay out a carrot for Edward, even though they know he's not coming. Can we just talk about how they put all of their food directly on the table? The banana is upside down, and I'm pretty sure Rosalie has half a block of cheese in front of her. Greta Gerwig's The Chronicle of Narnia will reportedly begin filming next year. Jack Harlow, I have the most perfect role for you. The fact that the Joker won an Oscar over Batman in his own movie just proves that the Academy completely missed the point of the movie. The Joker is evil. Fun fact, Rachel McAdams wore a $20,000 wig while playing Regina George in Mean Girls because she did not want to bleach her own hair. Marvel's biggest secret is how they made Robert Downey Jr. appear taller than he is. He's actually 5'8", Gwen is 5'9", and we all know she is wearing killer heels all the time. Chris, 6 foot. Robert Pattinson for Time Out magazine. This is the first time I've seen this guy not look like he took an Adderall and robbed a pet store after not sleeping for 5 days. Where does it hurt? Headache, stomach ache. Telling someone to watch a movie and they hit you with the, yeah, I'll check it out, knowing full well they will never watch it. Imagine sitting next to a grown man in the theater, looking like he's getting domed from Batman. If I worked at AMC, I'd pretend I couldn't hear you in the first 3 times, just so you could hear yourself ordering this. The Batman collectible popcorn vessel. Beauty and the Beast is so funny. Imagine you go out to town to run your errands and the entire population starts singing about how strange yet smashable you are. That doesn't happen to you. Racing, a complicated spy thriller about lemon cards starting an alternate fuel conspiracy to drive more businesses into the oil and gas industry. Racing. So this was the movie poster for Deadpool 2 at the movie theater in my town. They made it themselves because the actual poster never got here. If you passed this off as an authentic poster, no one would have questioned you. I honestly thought this was a legitimate poster for it. Gollum was just vibing with the ring in his cave for like 500 years because he barely ever wore it and nothing bad happened. So like, let him have his hobby. If you watch Titanic backwards, it's a heartwarming tale about a boat that comes out of the ocean and saves a bunch of drowning people. Dog-friendly cinema screenings are the way to spend a rainy Sunday. People who watch films versus people who work on films. Spirit Airlines has apologized after it mistakenly put an unaccompanied 6-year-old on the wrong flight during the holiday season travel rush. So basically Home Alone 2, he's not back, he's back. This pretty much sums up the book/movie. Serial killers in movies versus serial killers in real life. I love directors that use the same cast in every project. I like that they have all their little buddies. Invisibility cloak, the same one used by Harry Potter, in box only. $300. Thank you for looking at this little painting of a dog Bella has in her room. You won't ever regret it. Hi, I'm Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye, and I'm Scarlett Johansson, and I play Black Widow. I'm with Chris and Chris. This is like a radio show. Professionals, frat buds, children. What's your biggest weakness? I can be uncooperative. Okay, give me an example. Today I learned in 552 AD, 2 monks successfully smuggled silkworm eggs in their walking sticks from China to the Byzantine Empire, essentially ending the silk monopolies of China and Persia and bringing silk manufacture to Europe. Even funnier, it was funded, planned, and coordinated by Emperor Justinian himself as a wild and wacky heist years in the making. comedy heist movie set in 552 AD about these two monks. Absolutely. This goes insanely hard. Neighbors went to see It. This is what will be waiting for them when they get home tonight. We need to bring back movie theaters that look like they've been designed by Pee Wee Herman. This is something out of Alice in Wonderland. You know the cat film scene? I don't know his name. Finally watching Oppenheimer the way Christopher Nolan intended. Just two characters who deserve way more consequences and should have been seen as the villains. Something tells me this film will be off-center, unusual, and downright peculiar. Apologies to anyone who attended my Dune experience. I was let down by suppliers at the last minute, and I'm very sorry. Martin explaining Leonardo DiCaprio how to do the deed with a woman over 25 during the filming of The Wolf of Wall Street. He hated being a child and was bullied in elementary school. Had no friends until he was 14 or 15. In grade 1, having been heavily influenced by the action film First Blood, he took steak knives to school and threw them at other children during recess. This incident led to a suspension. He was unable to read. Literally me. I'm Ryan Gosling. Every frame of the Harry Potter movies condensed into a barcode. Oh my, look at this. How it starts off with reds and oranges and purples, bright colors, and then it gets continuously darker towards the end. It's so fitting to the story. And then there's that strip of white at the end, which has to be the King's Cross scene. And it's just light in a dark tone, which is extremely beautiful. You know why there's a white part at the end? Because happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. The Harry Potter fandom has officially lost their mind. 2011 to 2015, 2016. The rest. I had a dream that I was flirting with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I said, "What's your sign?" And he said, "DiCapricorn," and I laughed so hard I woke up. My sister got me this shirt for my birthday. I hate this so much. Quentin Tarantinated, written by Derek Tino. There is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. Haha, big explosions in the opening of Goodfellas, and Casino go boom. I snuck and drank half a gallon of chocolate milk into the movie, and have yet to have the urge to use the restroom. What is in this? Shrek's been added to the Library of Congress and National Film Registry. And souls don't die. Souls don't die. This movie was way too heavy for its intended age group. It's actually really perfect for all ages because when kids learn this stuff early in life, it stays with them. So underrated. The actor playing the main character versus the picture of the real life person they show at the end of the movie. To make a TV show, you need one banana-shaped man and one orange-shaped man. Let me explain. If you watch it backwards, it's about a girl who moves to Phoenix to avoid an athletic stalker. If you watch Godzilla backwards, it's about a benevolent lizard that helps rebuild a city and then moonwalks into the sea. If you watch Saw backwards, it's a beautiful and heartbreaking film about an old man giving people organs. I'll get you, and it'll look like a bloody accident. Shut up, I mean it. I will end you. Jim Carrey's Grinch was chaotic neutral, but Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat was just straight up chaotic evil. If you watch Inside Out backwards, it's about a girl in the big city who is in touch with her emotions until she has a breakdown so severe her family has to move back to the Midwest and treat her like a child. What kind of film fan are you? Basic, but doesn't think so. Shallow, but fun film fan. I'm quirky. Yeah, I'm a quirky film fan. I love Fantastic Fox. Oh, I remember watching that as a kid. It was so good. I'm gonna rewatch it. What your favorite movie director says about you? Steve, okay, I can't read all of these, but who's your favorite movie director? At least out of the ones shown right now. Or actually, yeah, out of this list, who's your favorite director? And in general, who's your favorite director? If you have one. I don't really have one. I'm not really that much of a, not movie fan, but I just don't know. I like animation movies. Well, those are my favorites, like Ice Age, Madagascar, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm watching Jurassic World, and Nick Robinson, the actor who plays Simon in Love, Simon, isn't it? And one of the raptors' names is Blue, and I'm so happy. I live for movie parallels. The search for Blue is over. Everyone can go home now. So Eraserhead he gave half a star, and Mr. Bean's Holiday, bloody brilliant, top to bottom. He fell off my chair and laughing me bum off. The city if the villain wins versus the city if the hero wins. Movie characters when they get shot 8 times. Movie characters when they slightly get shoved back into a wall. Couples in movies be living in mansions like this, and the husband has to sleep on the couch when they have a fight. Villain looks behind the table where the main character is hiding. The main character. The ridiculous, unnecessary romantic scene in a movie. Myself uncomfortably watching this play out. Dad, she's escaping. Oh, don't worry, son. She will trip and won't be able to stand up. Dumpsters always provide a soft cushion for a landing, no matter how high they fall. Size of an airplane, and the size of an airplane in a movie. It's a children's movie, and it's only sad. Cars in action movies. I can get hit 7 7 times and still function. Cars in horror movies can't even start. 5 minutes in real life, but it's 30 minutes in movies. When it rains in movies. During a kiss, when someone dies, because it just happened to rain. Movies be like, this secret door can be opened every once this many years, when every single planet is in the perfect position. And that is today. Nerd girls in movies before, ugly as hell. After 5 minutes makeover, hottest woman ever. You know the character is good if he aims his weapon like this. I feel like people in horror movies live in an alternate universe where there are no horror movies. That explains a lot, yeah, because they do the opposite of what you're supposed to do. The aliens map of Earth. Superman, I don't even know who you are. In every action movie, this thing must be destroyed. People in horror movies are like, walking to death. Take revenge on people that did you wrong. Horror movie antagonist. Take revenge on some random teenagers decades/centuries later. Not officially a captain. Everybody calls him a captain. Officially a captain. Nobody calls him a captain. Takes 5 seconds before explodes if used on enemy. 1 second to explode if used on a hero. Military logic in movies. Train all the soldiers to fight as good as their leader. Nah. Train the soldiers to specifically not fight as good as their leader. Helicopters in action movies. They actually fly. No, they explode. So you're saying that there is a crazy serial killer trying to kill us? Yes, and he can easily pop out of nowhere and kill us if we are alone. Well, in that case, we should totally split up. If you are in a movie in France, the Eiffel Tower will be visible in every shot. Kid starts drowning in chocolate river. The kid. The parents. Willy Wonka. The Oompa Loompas. Huge home-cooked breakfast made by loving wife. Movie character taking a bite from a piece of toast, then leaving for work. Main character's skull. Military-grade combat helmet. The character is Japanese. Let's cast a white actor. The character is white. Cast a Japanese actor. When the characters in a horror movie finally do the logical thing. Villains goons waiting for their chance to fight the hero instead of attacking all at the same time. A normal gun versus a gun in a movie. Unlimited ammo. Let's save the city and not destroy it. Said no superhero ever. Female character cuts her own hair in a dirty mirror with a hunting knife. Her hair the next scene. The actor playing the main character in a true story versus the photo of the real life person at the end of the movie. 36 people have been murdered in this house. Horror movie families. How the hero deals with the villain when the villain bombed a city in South America. How the hero deals with the villain when the villain threatened to kill his family. What people do when there's a noise downstairs. Lock the door. Hide. Go downstairs and bring a weapon. Silently take a peek downstairs. Call 911. Sneak away. Go downstairs making a lot of noise. So when the movie gets emotional and the main character starts to cry. Time. Alright, I'ma head out. Batman's story and Batman's story of someone just shot him in the mouth on the very first day. Movie. Based on a real story. The movie. Making a movie versus making an animated movie. Volume during the dialogue versus volume during the action scenes. When you see a horror movie and see it's based on a real life story, they wear masks. Everyone knows them. Don't wear masks. Nobody knows them. Before the movie and also before the movie. 20-year-old movie in my head versus 20-year-old movie in reality. OMG, a car's chasing me. Better run forward instead of stepping aside. They run forward to jump over it. The movie when I'm by myself versus the movie when my mom walks in. Media, the actor. Hundreds of people who made a movie possible. Hero in movies. Gets shot 18 times. His girl. No, don't leave me. Death. Understandable. Have a great day. How do they keep rebuilding Tokyo so fast? Because they're quick. They're quick with it. Action movie shooting precision. Every trained policeman. The main character who's never fired a gun before. Spares no expense but hires one IT guy. True heroes don't need superpowers until they meet Doomsday. Oh crap. Bad guys. Better put my automatic in park and floor it. They're so good at reversing. Movie characters when they get shot. Calm. Movie characters when they look at their gunshot wound. Panic. Thank God you called us. You were nearly dead. Here's a blanket. No way, they're cured. It's just that easy. Anyone who has been shopping for food in a movie will have a paper bag containing at least one piece of French bread. It's always a baguette. Cool guys never look at the explosions they have caused. Only in a Disney movie can you have a lit torch in a rainstorm. It's BS that zombies sneak up on us in the woods. Are you telling me they didn't step on one branch? Why do most zombie movies exist in a world where nobody has ever heard of zombies? Movie characters' logic when a car is chasing them. Oh, I better get out of the way. Oh, I might as well run ahead instead of stepping aside. People in horror movies, why you no turn on the lights? Heard something in the basement, better check it out alone in the dark. Only in the movies parents actually knock before coming into your room. Nobody in a movie ever uses a toilet, ever, unless it's a comedy. Why no use the door next to you? I don't know, they're very, very stupid. Why are vampires always wealthy in movies? Like, how do they they make a living. If you've been alive since 1892 and you're still broke, just step into the sun. 80s detective shows rocked. Nuns don't work on Sunday. Bad guys don't deserve a nose. So you're saying they shouldn't breathe? If there is a fight in a movie between the main guy and a load of baddies, they will come at him one by one in an orderly fashion so he can deal with them. Main character in a movie misses a shot in epic montage. Baddie, you miss the shot. Something else. Bad guy. What people do in horror movies. Actually run away from the killer. Scream the name of the person that's just been murdered. Stare at the killer as he comes closer. That awkward moment when you can fight a god, defeat the Hulk, but lose against old men. So movie logic. Real life gear stick. Fast and Furious gear stick. If you get shot in a limb in a movie, you can carry on fighting by tearing off a part of your shirt and tying it around the wound. Security guards in action movies and the protagonist in action movies. If the toys in Toy Story died, the kid wouldn't know, and the other toys would have to watch the kids play with their corpses. Me, opening the cages because animals should not be locked up. Everyone else at Jurassic Park. Horror movies versus anti-smoke ads. My nose will grow. The Pinocchio paradox. If he says it will grow, but it doesn't, he's lying, but it grows when he lies, so wouldn't he be telling the truth? But his nose still grew when he told the truth. How come the aliens learn the language of the country they invade a few seconds ago? It's the law. Villain who got training from childhood. Hero who got training before climax. Movie logic. Jump off a train going 100 kilometers an hour. Little dust on face. I fall from my bike with no more than 10 kilometers an hour. Damn it. The Lion King. The song I Just Can't Wait to Be King is literally, I can't wait for my dad to die. No matter how fast you run, Michael Myers can walk faster. It's because that damn music gives him a speed buff. When a main character gets shot in a movie versus when a side character gets shot in a movie. Rich man takes interest in boy who shoots a sticky white substance. She left her kid home alone twice for Christmas vacation, and GPS ain't do anything. 51 movies, 1 Oscar. 1 movie and 1 Oscar. In the movies, she's using 40% of her brain. Imagine what will happen if she gets to 100. In the real world, what's with her? Oh, that's not a lot at all. She's using 40% of her brain. Played 4 roles in 1 movie. Played 200,000 roles in 1 movie with 1 million more well on the way. Me watching a horror movie. Animal gets euthanized. Person gets decapitated with a chainsaw. The original movie versus the Netflix adaptation. 18 plus movie, 14 plus movie director. We need an actor to play the main character. No one. Movie director. It's set in a Dwayne Johnson. You haven't seen that movie starter pack? How? Where you live, under a rock. Says random quote from movie. You. Me, 3 seconds into a movie. I wonder who the bad guy is. The movie. Oh, I got it. So movie versus real life. Let off my hand or we both die. No, there's no way I'm gonna leave you. Pull me up! Get off my hand! Die for your own good. Giant alien spaceships hovering over the world's biggest cities. Still considered crazy for claiming to be abducted by aliens. People are so stupid. Me watching a scary movie. Yells at person on the movie, don't open the door. Here's a knock on my door in real life. Don't open the door. Kid blows up his Death Star. Offers him a job. Toothless. You're doing it wrong. 11-year-olds in movies and also 11-year-olds in movies. There's such a massive divide. They're either so immature or they look about 20 and act 40. If a movie character gets shot here, they are required to keep it to themselves for a while. Later in the movie, they must open their shirt/jacket, revealing an alarming amount of blood, followed by another character saying, "You're hurt." This is lore. The most realistic part of Age of Ultron was Ultron deciding the human race must be destroyed after spending a few minutes on the internet. He saw too much brain rot. Powers can't pass through gloves, can pass through shoes easily. Trains by identifying poisonous berries, dies from eating poisonous berries. Nobody. The dash cam from literally any zombie movie. I won't follow that sound through that door all alone in the dark without any weapon. Said no horror movie character ever. Wakes up after a serious accident. Starts ripping out all of the IVs. Pilot gives a thumbs up. Soldier sees it from the ground 4,000 feet below. Can solve the autopilot to the bat. Decides to use it to drag an unstable nuclear core through the streets of Gotham. Nobody uses a mouse in a movie. You can make the computer do stuff by smooshing away at the keyboard. I actually never realized this. You rarely see a mouse. Lights in movies make loud noises when you turn them on. Wears full body armor, still dies in one shot, probably made in China. Billionaire beats up mentally ill loner. They're both mentally ill loners, just one's rich. The weapons the bad guy's army have in the movie versus the weapon the bad guy himself has in the movie. The wife that dies in the beginning of the movie, never to be seen again. Because you watched A Bug's Life, you will love Human Centipede, also Netflix. Bugs is bugs, trying to write a character smarter than you. Jurassic Park is the most realistic disaster movie series because every time they have the same problem over and over again, and nobody ever learns from it or tries anything a different way. If you shoot a car in a movie, it will explode into a hinged flame ball. Voldemort uses Colgate, and Dumbledore uses L'Oreal. That's why his hair's so smooth. The story of the Matrix backwards. A guy who leaves the drugs and then gets a job, removes mustache, wife fails to recognize him. World best archaeologist, destroys every ancient temple he enters. Magic can regrow bones and arm overnight, still wears glasses. While your eyes on a bone, movie theater. No outside food or drinks allowed. Me. No, it's not allowed if you find out. Don't open that door. If people in horror movies would listen to me, they would all be alive. Movie theaters be like, your total is, this is an old meme. It's now probably $200. The entire timeline before, after the time traveler destroys all oranges and everybody who grows them in 69 AD. Verbally abusive and violent. Only wants a trophy wife. Like some affiliate, okay. Keeps waiting for perfection. Gets annoyed if you're not a guy. Won't get a job. Him and his buddies won't leave your house. He has a girl on the side. Likes his car more than you. Disney preparing girls for the future since 1935. The movie we all thought was going to save the theater. The movie that will actually save theaters. People in movies. Oh my gosh, it's a superhero. Superhero puts on glasses. People in movies. I've never met this man in my life. So Americans and Europeans. Person getting their head shot off in a movie. Fully frontal nudity in a movie. Character in Marvel movie. Dies. Marvel. Yeah, but he's not really dead. We have parallel universe. I died twice. I died thrice. I died countless times. People, please. I ended myself and I didn't die. I've watched all 7 Fast and Furious movies, and not even for once any of them has stopped at a gas station. Families in horror movies, when they move into a haunted house. This is fine. Did you know Titanic was filmed in a pool and the water was warm? Well, they're not gonna put hundreds of people floating about in the Arctic, are they? Are you good at writing movie scripts? What's a movie? Welcome aboard. Star Wars. Or the most recent Star Wars at least. Why is she wearing a dress if she's just gonna let her... Okay, this is insane. The best short summary of all movie types. So we have reality, Hollywood, Bollywood. I don't even know what the last 2 are. Action movie protagonist to his daughter. Honey, daddy's gotta go away for a while. Pop's gotta go. I got some bad men after me. Some really nasty guys. Some big meanies are trying to catch me and well, dad's gotta go. I'm sorry, sweetie, but dad's got a blast. Some really rude men are after me. You gotta go stay with mum because I'm not just putting myself in danger, but my family too. For some reason, I think mum's place is safer than my off-the-grid apartment / house / cabin. Me, watching an interaction between a male and a female character. Wow, look at that wholesome platonic relationship. I love their friendship, and it's perfect the way male and female characters kiss. I do not understand. Straight white males, this movie is not for you. Why are straight white males refusing to see this movie? Alright team, we need an idea for a new superhero movie. What we got? More Batman movies, Superman movies. What about a different superhero? What? In the movies, police departments give their officers personality tests to make sure they are deliberately assigned to a partner who is their polar opposite. It's so they have balance. Let's make a movie about a single negative guy in a village of happy-go-lucky creatures based on some old game. In the end, he teaches them that when someone wants to eat you / or your children, being nice isn't always the answer. Let's make a movie with the same premise, but the opposite takeaway. We're such trolls. Movie logic. So the main character with the secondary character, a huge missile. Everyone's dead, but the main character. Oh, just another random explosion behind us. We'll just walk away into the final credits. Yawn. Humans have developed automated surgical suits, created beautiful holographic imagery, assembled remarkably human-like androids, and are capable of interstellar travel. But let's keep using handheld flashlights. Someone, don't cry. It's just, this movie is so good. Interstellar, I recommend it. Floor pressure sensors, check. Temperature sensors, check. Video surveillance, check. Laser tripwires and air duct, check. Motion sensors, nah, we don't need that. It's only the cheapest and most common form of security there is. We're too high tech for that. You watched the video, so you are going to die after 7 days. But what if I watched the video again on the 6th day? Repeat it forever? I'm immortal. Nobody. Parents in horror movies. This would be a nice place for our kids to grow up. What people do in horror movies. Actually run away from the killer. Scream the name of the person that's just been murdered. Stare at the killer as he comes closer. 22 people have died in this house. Families in horror movies. There should be bloopers at the end of horror movies, just to let a person sleep in peace. Hospital and horror movie. In a hospital in my country. So I'm sitting here on my grandma's couch and cars and action movies. I can get hit 7 times and still function. Cars and horror movies. Can't even start. Lapland, Finland. I've watched way too many horror movies to stay here. Some beast is gonna come out at night to eat you. Things that break / don't work in horror movies starter pack. Phones, guns, running, car, common sense. Daughter, can I keep the nightlight on? Me. And provide the monsters with a beast peek into your location? Use your head, sweetie. How you see a room. How you see a room in a horror movie. Horror movies then and now. Plot, nudity, murder, now. A ghost, that's a metaphor for the family drama. Harrowing family drama. My horror movie logic. Girls die. She deserved it. Guy dies. That's what you get for going outside unarmed. Kitten dies. I hope this director steps on a Lego. Person in the horror movie. Start. The car. No, I don't think I will. Ghostface throughout the years. What the hell happened in 2015? Why did Michael do this? Michael Myers, underrated goofball, a rascal. Character in horror novel. The food was delicious, though I couldn't quite identify what kind of meat it was. Me, that's a human person. People who watch horror movies before going to sleep. Serial killers. You're watching a horror movie. It's midnight. Your grandfather asks you to turn off the TV and go to bed. Grandfather died 10 years ago. The end of a horror movie. Based on a true story. I care about your feelings more than that. One thing I learned from horror movies. Ghosts are good at operating electrical devices. Unpopular opinion. Horror movies. Horror movies with friends are comedy movies. You wake up in the middle of the night and see this. What do? Breathe a sigh of relief knowing I'm not going to have to go to work tomorrow. I feel like people in horror movies live in an alternate universe where there are no horror movies. That explains a lot. My cousin has a Michael Myers mask and he can't stop wearing it. 3-year-old Pennywise the Clown is adorably terrifying. Look, I'll punch a child too. His hands are rated E for everybody. So you're saying that there is a crazy serial killer trying to kill us? Yes, and he can easily pop out of nowhere and kill us if we are alone. Well, in that case, we should totally split up. People in horror movies be like, running to death. Classic horror movies. You're next. No, that thing is wearing my best friend's face. He's dead. No. Sci-fi horror movies. Which one of us is the clone? I think we both know. How did that make you feel? Wanted. The best possible way to watch Jaws. Plot twist. Someone puts an actual shark in the pool and it begins to pick people off one by one. People who love gory horror movies. People who love musicals. Serial killers. Me. If I won the lottery, the first thing I would do is take care of my family. Also me. Lottery winner wears a Scream costume to collect his $1 million, so relatives can't recognize him. The problem with horror now is there are no men in little tank tops and booty shorts. Who scared you the most when you were younger? My mum. Yes, Netflix, you're absolutely right. Because you watched A Bug's Life, you'll love The Human Centipede. Some place, different day. Awesome color study. Fantasy adventure genre versus survival horror genre. A lot of horror portrays kids playing pretend, or even just playing in general, as something creepy which is really funny to me. Apparently having fun is scary. Kid in a horror movie. Want to play? Me, as a horror movie protagonist. Play what? Kid in a horror movie. Minecraft. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you breaking news. Horror Balloon Festival in Colorado. Darth Vader and Darth Maul really horror movie characters? I don't know. Boys' bathroom. Let's play a game. Girls' bathroom. You are beautiful. No, you. What if, bear with me, you are both beautiful and someone's lying. Horror in the 1820s. I am a misunderstood beast. Please don't hurt me. 1930s. I want to suck your blood. 1980s. I haunt and kill people in their own dreams. Horror now. Woo! Horror fans will understand. He visited a little boy with cancer. Someone had AI generate Alien the Musical, and unfortunately it looks incredible. The original Axe body spray. Feeling like those pictures of Michael Myers eating right now? They grow up so fast. I didn't know they were so close. How to watch horror movies without being scared. Just use your phone on Snapchat to put filters on them. Dharma has become Netflix's second biggest English language series of all time. White people finally got their Black Panther. There's a Saw roller coaster in England. Send knife pictures. My daughter was like, Mom, can you get my balloon? No, the hell I cannot. If you want Mom to go away for a long time, then Mom can. Victims in horror movies. Smart, logical people. People who mourn over the dead. People who run from the killer, but of course get caught by them because the killer can walk faster than humanly possible. Dumb people who do not run or split up, so it's easier for the killer to find them and kill each of them. The awkward moment you find out your boyfriend is a dead serial killer. Just girly things. Therapist. Okay, so what's your earliest childhood memory? Me. Horror. This dude just rolled into our math class and left. The boys are back. Now they're gone. Miku behind you. Miku, turn around. When people split up in horror movies, instead of staying with the group, Michael Myers' mask throughout the years. He looks like he didn't want to kill anymore in 1988. He caught no bodies that year. You're in the kitchen, you hear a door slam, and you turn around to see him. What are you doing? Ask him what bills he's paying to be slamming doors in my house. Call me weird, but I prefer the way the night looked in the 70s and 80s horror movies. Something about those deep blues. The horror movie you watched in childhood. The same movie now. Did you know there's a life-size Jason Voorhees statue standing 120 feet down in Crystal Lake in Minnesota? This man makes me fear that I'll be shoved into a taffy machine at the slightest provocation, as he should. There was just no other spot for this art. Where is the madness behind his eyes? The malice? The complete disregard for the laws of mankind and decency? If they make an in real life Coraline, can they cast Sarah as the mother, please and thank you? A live action would be terrifying. Sign me up. My neighbor's Halloween display. Those teenagers deserved it. Change our minds. Me watching horror. When people get killed. When a dog gets killed. A horror movie, but the killer wears flip-flops, so there's an ominous flip-flip sound as he hunts you. My Wish.com Freddy mask looks like he entered my dreams and saw stuff he wasn't mentally equipped to deal with. Hello, traffic warden. I want to play a game. A lot of tickets. Which one is the correct one? Our house is haunted. Let the kids sleep alone no matter what happens. When you don't let the pizza rolls cool off, horror movie fans be like, I need to relax. And put on a movie where a woman saws her own head off with a piano wire. This family just moved into the house next to me. I'm getting good vibes from them. Heard something in the basement? Better check it out alone in the dark. Imagine a horror movie where you're trapped in your house with a serial killer, but all your lights are clappers. So you're running for your life from this psycho while both of you are just aggressively clapping the lights on and off. Hi, please, can you tell Pennywise to stop using his head to break things? I can't make him stop. Nothing can. Just look at this face. Pure determination. This is the most humiliating day of my life. Hello, Alexander. The evening has been most enjoyable. Would you care to receive some artful photographs of my nude form? Why do you text like Jigsaw? When to it? I'm first in the screen, and this guy's just sitting there. The killer is in the basement. Better go there. Why is Pennywise in Applebee's? I don't have service underground. The biggest dilemma to being a horror movie serial killer is deciding where to put the bodies to scare the final girl in the end. If you ever think how white people act in horror movies is just a stereotype, remember that my grandma used to work in an insane asylum, and for fun during her downtime on the night shift, she would wander around the abandoned tunnels under the asylum where 8 people had died. Your grandma is metal as hell. Nobody, animals in Barbie movies. I just want a man like Michael, remembers important dates, puts my friends first, determined, strong, consistent, and loves to surprise me. Parents want posters for It Chapter 2 banned because they're giving their children nightmares. Saw a demon making a withdrawal today. It's gonna be a long year. We just got a new cat from the pound. We got him to do some killing mouse killing. I've named him Michael Meowers. Saw 8 people. I have seen 8 people today. Yes. 2 guys in a horror movie. Look, it's blood. Ah! Let's go check it out. Great idea. Fastest man in the world. Power walks, catches him and kills him. I want a true horror movie where all the characters are intelligent and do all the right things and take all the proper precautions but still wind up getting killed by the antagonist. Nothing is scarier than doing everything you can in vain and staring into the face of futility. What a victim does in a horror movie when they think the killer is unconscious. Leave a weapon beside them. Walk around aimlessly until the killer wakes up. Epically fail at opening a door, starting a car. Dramatically check to see if they're really unconscious. Call the police and find cover. Me. I need to stop spending money on things I don't need. Also me. The kids on filming It. We all became best friends and it was the most amazing summer of our lives and we never wanted it to end. Bill Skarsgård on filming It. It was lonely as hell. I sat in a tent by myself the whole time and all the crew members were scared of me. That feeling when you just want to have fun and mingle, but you get banished to the Pennywise tent for being Pennywise. This is the plot to Wreck-It Ralph. Horror literature is better than horror movies and games because authors can't use jump scares and are forced to actually unnerve you with their writing instead of relying on people's anxiety and expectations to be startled. Catch me putting blank pages with boo written in invisible ink into my books. When you have the greatest friends. Psst, kids, I hate that clown. It's safe to come down now. Of all the It memes, this has to be the best. A true hero. But what if you're just trying to eat me? The Joker shoots Eric Andre, but another identical Eric Andre walks out from the curtain behind it and keeps doing the interview like nothing happened. You see, there was a murder in this house and it's haunted. I'm moving in. Normal people watching horror movies, and me. I'm like normal people. When you're chasing a teenager through an open area and she trips over literally nothing. Horror movie antagonist. Take revenge on the people that did you wrong. Take revenge on some random teenagers decades/centuries later. We should definitely stay together. Said no horror film character ever. Dad, she's escaping. Oh, don't worry, son. She'll trip and won't be able to stand up. Someone calls 911, then the line goes dead. They're probably fine. Let's split. I'll go alone in the dark room where probably something bad is going to happen. Horror movie characters, when given a clean chance to escape, they decide to fight back. Horror movie, turns cross upside down. The world, Australians. If you are lonely, dim all the lights and put on a horror movie. After a while, it won't feel like you are alone anymore. Your car crashes. A kind stranger is coming to help you. You are a horror movie character. People in terror movies. Zombie on the road. A poor sir on the street. I'm gonna ask him if he needs any help. Die! Hey, stupid, don't go in there. You know the people in the horror movies can't hear you, right? I know, it's just, hey, I said don't. Whatever, you've seen the movie 100 times. You know he goes in there and gets, oh god, don't let him go in. I don't always die, but when I do, I don't. If I were to make a horror game, I would have it autosave at random times just to mess with the player. Or hell, put up a fake autosave. Character in horror movie. Whatever you do, for the love of all things holy, do not watch this tape / play this game / go to this place. The protagonist. How about I do anyway? I love how in scary movies, the person yells, hello? As if the killer is going to be like, yeah, I'm in the kitchen. Want a sandwich? We're watching a movie in science class, and this guy's running from this meteorite, but he's running so slow that he's basically walking but extra. My man's running at -30 speed. If you're somewhere dark and scary and you think, this feels like the first 5 minutes of a supernatural horror movie, then start walking like a dinosaur for no apparent reason. Because no one in the first 5 minutes of a supernatural or a horror movie would start walking like a dinosaur for no apparent reason. The ultimate survival tip. Scariest part of a scary movie occurs during the movie, at home when you remember the movie. Imagine waking up here, but it's a saw trap. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? You do. You have 30 minutes before your oxygen runs out. The rest of the house, the attic, the basement, the haunted house. When you're trying to be a scary killer, but the teenagers outsmart you. The face your belly makes when beer is coming. Thanks to all the horror movies that depict little kids as possessed goblins, I now have to fight back the urge to roundhouse kick my kid in the face when she walks down the hall in the middle of the night. What do you mean you need water, tiny Satan? So my social anxiety is saving me from being kidnapped or murdered. Once someone was like, millennials don't answer a door if they aren't expecting anyone. And now I get why the 70s had so many serial killers. Anxiety is like watching a horror movie and it suddenly goes quiet. You brace yourself for the scary part, but it never comes. You're just stuck in that tense anticipation with no release. Me, after watching fake horror movies. Me, after watching true serial killer documentaries. Horror movies don't scare me because I grew up watching this show. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. Horror movies. Me, after a stressful day. Getting hit by a car is kind of fun. It feels like an action movie when you roll over the hood. Driver was crying like she killed me or something. Relax. Nurse asked me to rate the pain 1 to 10, and I said 25 and started screaming because I'm getting this morphine one way or another. Pennywise and the Losers Club look like they are about to drop the hottest album of all time. So I'm watching Hannibal and this comes up. Friend, I found this evil videotape and 7 days after watching it, a cute kitty crawls out of the TV to viciously murder you. Did you say cute kitty? 7 days later. No thoughts, just pinhead chihuahua. Date someone who gives you chills just by the way they look into your eyes. Inhale, exhale. Relax your shoulders. Affirm it to yourself loudly. It's okay to want the eternal worm to return. I don't always put on a smiley face, but when I do, it's someone else's. Horror movie. Child. Mummy, I'm scared. It's okay, sweetie. Just hug the human-sized clown toy with bloody teeth that I purchased for you. Jigsaw wanting to play a game with you? Just say no. Jigsaw cannot legally play with you without your consent. The It Chapter 2 cast being scared of a balloon is peak comedy. I would die first in a horror movie. Not because I'm black, but because I refuse to spend the last few minutes of my life running. Fisherman Finds Something Messed Up is the best genre of horror. Spent so much time chasing others in their dreams, I forgot to chase my own. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, that's Jason, you. These are the same movies in completely different tones. What women really want in a man. Strong silent type, remembers your birthdays, loves children, dream guy, in touch with his feminine side, family man, loves his mother, romantic home-cooked meals. I just ran 4 iconic horror characters through a smiley face app, and now they just look like 4 happy fellas, hanging out and loving life. This man is actually insane. He manages to create horror that is scarier than 90% of Hollywood horror films. In 1999, James Todd Smith, better known as LL Cool J, became the first black man in horror movie history to survive the whole movie. Natives. This land is haunted. If you go into this forest, you will die. People in horror movies. Moving into the woods alone. Thinking about when I worked at a bookstore and we had to get a whole box of cheap Dracula hardcovers that inexplicably credited the author, Bram Stoker. You know in Jaws, when everyone is annoyed, the beaches are closed because the shark keeps killing people, and they know it's killing people, and they go to the beach anyway? That's what this pandemic is like. Watching The Shining and just noticed a mistake. The hotel is supposed to be empty, but at one point Jack goes into the ballroom, and there are hundreds of people having a party. Is there any way to make the shower less horror movie? Clean the floor. Dear Lord, if we get zombies, please give us the Walking Dead zombies and not World War Z zombies, because I can't run very fast. Amen. You're in her DMs. She's on my What? I'm gonna say it. The real terrifying Halloween figure is the other mum from Coraline. Freddy Krueger and Jason got nothing on her. She gave me nightmares from ages 5 to 10, and you will treat her with the respect a legendary horror queen deserves. Tim Burton. I have a movie to pitch. Oh boy, here we go. Go on. About 2 people from different parts of town. Sounds pretty cute. Oh, and he's super emo and has scissors for hands. There it is. I almost fell down a well yesterday, Mum. I could have died. That's nice, dear. This movie is scary. The scariest part is this is how most parents are. Wow. This guy on the bus talking to a girl about how he trades stocks, and she goes, "Have you seen American Psycho?" And he said, "No, I don't watch movies. I'm too busy trading." He got the reference. The Chucky series. I can excuse murder, but I draw the line at homophobia. You can excuse murder. This Halloween, keep a lookout for Michael Myers. Why did we stop making body horror movies with visceral practical effects, which are meant to represent societal fears of the other, scientific progress, and deviations from socially accepted norms? We need to get back to that. Parents really think it's okay for their children to behave like this in public when your kiddo wants to be both a hot dog and Michael Myers. Oscar Myers is born. I just watched this Indonesian horror movie, and they did have some bloopers, except instead of being funny outtakes, there were points in filming where they were forced to stop because the actress playing as the ghost got possessed a couple times and they had to do an exorcism. Are you sure that isn't part of the movie? You know you're old when you watch a horror movie with annoying partying college kids getting murdered and you identify with the killer. Michael Myers and Michael Myers. Me, waiting for Friday the 13th. After finishing film school, 2 students wanted to make a film but they could only afford 1 room. They challenged themselves to make a film that only occurred in 1 room and later released it as Saw. Every time Americans cry about living in a haunted house, this happens constantly. I ask, do you have a basement? They're like, yeah. I ask, do you have an attic? They're like, yeah. Well, that's your problem, dingus. You're living in the meat of a spooky sandwich. You wake up from a nap and see this in the living room. What's your next move? How the Titanic should have ended. Patrick, 36. Oh nah, don't send a like to this guy. He might kill you. Me on antidepressants. Me trying to strike up a conversation. Did you know that Ted Bundy's first dog, a collie, was named Lassie? Who's Ted Bundy? Hot topic employees be coming up to you scary as hell. Like, it's buy one, get one free. Keep making tweets like this, but every Hot Topic employee I've ever encountered just looked like Mabel from Gravity Falls. Single father tries to end world hunger with his rock collection. 2 orphans fight in the rain. Man betrays his race for some alien action. An elderly man abducts a young overweight Asian boy to replace his dead wife. You know, it's just a house. A guy learns to love a girl without her Instagram filters. A lot of people take the ice bucket challenge. It doesn't end well. Titanic. A train conductor kidnaps children and brings them to an isolated village in the north. Explain a film plot badly. 2 grown men abduct a child and run away from the government. Unpopular kids beat up a starving homeless clown. A teen boy's body changes and he discovers he can shoot a white sticky liquid out of his body. Man seeks therapy after dog dies. Noseless guy has an unhealthy obsession with a teenage boy. Adorable trash can and flower pot force fat people to walk. Idiot ginger and mouse violate health code regulations. Guy on drugs wins the war by throwing a frisbee. Rocking hard abs will make women look past the fact you're dirty, illiterate, and uncultured. A scientist on drugs throws a temper tantrum. Christian Bale plays a rich bloke with a secret, violent double life. No, not that one. Girl has to pretend she's a man to be taken seriously. A black goo from outer space tries to get Tom Hardy and his ex back together by possessing the eggs and French kissing him. A creepy old man tricks a boy to go back in time so he can kiss his mother. Rare endangered aquatic creature murdered by small town blue collar sheriff. Pirates of the Caribbean. Drunk guy keeps losing his transportation. Old man forces child into a volcano. Boy rips apart the fabric of reality for a college admission. A man finds out that money can't buy you happiness. Or parents. Guy talks to fish for 2 hours. Teenage girl struggles to choose between bestiality and necrophilia. I wish none was an option. A robot goes on the internet and decides to end humanity. Man murders his co-workers after he gets denied a job promotion. Adding and gets a burn notice. After losing his father, a young boy joins a hippie group and becomes a vegan. Yellow bananas are dedicated to taking over the world. Old cowboy cannot accept modern technology and will do everything to keep being the slave master's favorite slave. Man has an allergic reaction to a spider bite, goes crazy, and murders his best friend's dad. A dad has to go pick up his daughter. Every movie is the same. A scientist travels to the other part of his daughter's bedroom. A billionaire practices his parenting skills to a kid he saw on YouTube. Tells girl it's what's on the inside that counts, then changes her outsides. Man takes psychedelic red pill and trips out for 2.5 2.5 movies. Weird Lady plays a long game of Marco Polo with the 2 kids she found on the street. A group of teens help an ill-tempered hockey goalie overcome the tragic loss of his mother. Family experiences horrible alternate reality in Which Board Games Aren't Boring. Kid befriends prisoner of war and, with his help, ends the war. Orphaned boy finds long-lost father who invites him to join the family business. A beautiful princess gets catfished. Deadbeat dad tries to get his son to take over the family business. A single father struggles to raise his child after his wife is gunned down. Man's midlife crisis endangers his family and entire city. A guy that's alone in a forest kisses a dead body while 7 other guys watch. Girl develops Stockholm Syndrome while being kidnapped in a castle. For those who don't know what that means, it's basically when the victim who is being kidnapped starts falling for the captor, the person who kidnapped them. Talking Frog convinces son to kill his dad. A chocolate factory owner lures 5 kids to his factory, killing 4 and selecting the survivor to carry on his dark legacy. A man in makeup trolls a city to annoy a billionaire. Old man pretends to teach teenage boy karate to make him do chores, the Karate Kid. A young man forcibly blinds other men and photographs them for money. Priest kidnaps child for cult and eventual marriage to politician twice his age. After the death of her parents, a young socialite causes millions in property damage. A kid forces... Whoa. That is fucking loud. A kid forces his pet rat to fight innocent animals to the death for his pleasure. Angry red-headed midget sets a bad example for his 6-year-old roommate. After surviving a texting and driving accident, a doctor decides to devote his life protecting a necklace. A movie about how Earth will end 3 years ago. I wish it was accurate. 2 90-year-old men fight when one of them can't remember who the other is. 100-year-old man goes to high school and yeah, this is pretty much what the movie is. I didn't really understand it as a kid, but now it's clear. An overly optimistic, sparkly child teaches the ugly children they don't have to eat their feelings to be happy. A cancer patient undergoes an experimental treatment for a second chance at love. King kills his cousin so that he can steal his idea and get the credit for it. Leonardo DiCaprio finds out he can't even win an Oscar in his dreams. This photo of Donald Trump's mother looks like a character in a film about Trump's life, where Trump plays all the roles. A giant radioactive lizard angrily searches for a giant imposter robot, but keeps getting interrupted by a giant homeless monkey. The Lion King, but starring humans in space with less water. Hitchhikers with self-esteem issues get lost in the woods and meet a televangelist who is a fraud. I loved this movie. A jerk crashes a party, then the squad goes after him. Spoiled brat gets left home on purpose, and parents did not have child services come for a visit. Abandoned children hallucinate a large monster and perform ritualistic songs and dances. A teen girl gets mixed up with violent refugees who seek to impose their fanatical religion. Awkward girl gets makeover and goes on reality TV. Americans finally bother to learn a foreign language. Human. Group spends 9 hours returning jewelry. Leonardo DiCaprio wanders a frozen wasteland in search of an Oscar. Young girl with mental illness talks to furniture and marries her kidnapper. 2 robots go to a drug dealer's mansion to help steal his wall art and blow up his yacht. A story about how a ghost teaches kids to save power. Lights Out. Incestuous siblings defeat angry father with glow stick. A billionaire devotes time and money to cosplay. That's just what cosplaying is. An hour and a half of watching people sleep. A quiet, seemingly harmless teacher manipulates and grooms a 6-year-old to help her get promoted and steal a house from a relative. Woman murders woman for a pair of sparkly shoes. Depressed wizard comes out of retirement to pull a prank on his nephew. Green Deadpool kills space fart cloud. Hardworking Cuban immigrant becomes successful entrepreneur, dies of lead poisoning. A baby kidnapped by Santa grows up and finds his father. Perfectly pleasant society turns to chaos by the introduction of a female. Abused kid gets into school with poorly chosen teachers. Alien crashes to Earth and gets a dead-end job at a newspaper. A family's first Airbnb experience goes very wrong. A mystical toad teaches people how to whack each other with neon tubes. Man destroys his own planet because he did not want to share it with his sister after she broke his favorite toy. US government spends millions of dollars because a man runs out of potatoes. The Martian. An old man pretends to be bedridden for years until he gets a chance at some free chocolate. Terrorist destroys local town to show how corrupt their society is. Rich family did not realize they have a basement. A refugee learns how to balance his career and his family and befriends an orphan who finds meaning when he learns his true heritage. Teenager undergoes extreme body modifications to get a man. 2 women get get lost in a warehouse for 3 days while on a quest to make a little girl cry. Businesswoman faces supply chain problems when starting new clothing line. An uncle kills a child's father, so a pig and a big rat help him get his revenge. A young orphan girl gets saved by a rich person after being hunted down by the entire city population and the authority. A teenage boy is disowned by his father after offering solution to world peace. Bullied kid with a birth defect proves people are only nice to you when they need something. A large bearded man abducts 11-year-old boy, says he's special and wants to teach him magic. Man takes drugs, loses his mind and never recovers. Cancer survivor never loses his sense of humor. A woman steals her teacher's identity, his antique sword, and his family home. Handsome mercenary who owns a pet bear intervenes to stop incest between a brother and a sister. Man retires after only showing up to work 5 times in 15 years. Everybody's looking for this one fish, and they find it. Seemingly normal protagonist's life and relationships are put to the test when their alternate personalities gets a little too overwhelming. Farmer making breakfast gets assaulted by group of angry misfits. Random guy realizes he's trapped in some kind of video game, but then figures out how to unlock God mode and wins every level. Friends come together after years apart to pull off a jewelry heist. The one where Jennifer Aniston lost her man in front of the world. Very repetitive film. Older sister ruins younger sister's chance to appear on television. I volunteer as tribute. Yeah, that's kinda rude of her. Transformers, but it's good. The Iron. What plot? Yeah, no plot. Kid comes out of the closet. Narnia. Am I the only one as a kid who would open a wardrobe thinking that there was a possibility of going into Narnia? Silicon Graphics computers. Toy Story. Explain a film plot badly. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Fight Club. A team of scientists agree to a questionable proposition in order to secure a grant funding. 2 guys fighting over a pair of glasses in Italy. A kind politician gives a quadruplet blah 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 the ability to walk again. Small man annoys a giant eye by stealing his jewelry. Guy travels back in time to bang his boss's mum. Sadistic factory owner abuses 5 children, physically and mentally. Gem collector seeks to solve political problem. Woman learns to not hate the players, but only to hate the game. White family confronts and harasses successful black man in his own home. Oh my god, it was my dad all along. Miss Doubtfire. I'm actually doing a Star Wars rewatch with my dad. I'm trying to get through every movie. Taking a while though. Talking bacon. Is this Charlotte's Web? Yeah, it is. Genetically modified frogs cause a ruckus. Girl gets in the mood with a fish. Yeah, let me tell you, this movie is not what I thought it was when I was younger. Fucking hell. Don't. Just don't. An alcoholic orphan and his boss burn down his family home. Liam Neeson plays the same guy from Taken, but in the snow. Yeah, I only know Liam Neeson from Star Wars and when he's the father and he has to save his daughter from like kidnappers or some gang. Drug addicted girl takes advantage of mentally challenged boy for 3 decades. People drink coffee for 10 years. This photo looks like the premise for a movie about a bubbly college girl trying to hide that her parents are ageless underworld demigods. They drive somewhere, then drive back. Invite your friends to art museums, otherwise they will drown. Helpful man teaches ladies how to properly use skincare products. Girl with Stockholm syndrome gets a bad haircut. Tom Hanks' flight doesn't go well. Girl meets the man of her dreams. Abused orphan hopes escape his parents' killer. Crippled midget tries to get his brother's body back with a rock made from genocide. Girl who's never met a man before in her life runs away from home with the very first one she meets. A movie about the world's worst Uber driver. A Goop executive endangers the whole world with a deadly virus because she did not wash her hands. A young man quits his job, steals a jacket, and hangs out with a homeless girl and her dog. A tree, a rabbit, and a pirate angel spend 2 hours building an axe in space. A giant monster awakens to stop 2 in-the-mood bugs from mating. Public transportation running ahead of schedule for once. A man gets punched, leaves girlfriend to move to Italy, marries someone else, watches wife explode, moves back home, marries ex-girlfriend, and becomes the head of the mafia, all before the bruise on his face heals. Known dog killer retcons her original story for sympathy. Boy likes to eat potato chips while casually committing mass genocide. Dudes become bros until a dude realizes that his bro isn't chill, thus making the dudes no longer bros. Girl kidnaps an entire town in pursuit of her TV sitcom fueled fantasies. Horror movies should add bloopers, so after watching the main film, you'll be able to sleep. I watched this Indonesian horror movie and they did have some bloopers. Except of being funny outtakes, there were points in filming where they were forced to stop because the actress playing as the ghost got possessed a couple times and they had to do an exorcism. Battle, walking, talking trees, battle, walking, battle. Throws trinket into a volcano. volcano. Boy goes to a boarding school and starts a year 7 gang war. Stranger things right after showing you the scariest, most gruesome scene you've ever seen in your life. Neglected sociopathic child tries to murder 2 homeless men. A depressed office worker joins a cult and destabilizes the government. A boy escapes from a cupboard and goes to a castle, then uses a stick to kill a pale guy with no nose. Mentally feeble man meets Elvis, and that's somehow the least memorable event in his life. Man-child learns to be an adult. Yeah, he still hasn't learned, and he's still the GOAT. I don't care. Adam Sandler, if there's a chance you're seeing this video, I love you. Immigrant adoptee is repatriated. What is that word? Repatriated to country of birth. Experiences culture shock and prejudice. A bald guy teams up with another bald guy to fight another bald guy. Yeah, I don't think I've watched one Fast and Furious movie. Popular boy kills his teacher. Someone who hasn't watched Tokyo Ghoul, explain what's going on in this image. Boy is scared of sandwich. Sandwich is triangle. A gorgeous queen that looks like that person is so mentally ill that a mirror tricks her into believing that Kristen Stewart is prettier than her. Baby dies of old age. I haven't watched Benjamin Button, but I recognize the name. I'm gonna look up what it's about. What the fuck? That sounds like an interesting movie. What the fuck? Man grows potatoes. I don't know what was about that potato scene, but that actually, and I'm not even joking, that made me obsessed with eating potatoes for like 3 months. Even now, I just want to eat a potato thinking about that scene. A conversation about hamburgers leads to violence. Pulp Fiction. Should I watch this movie? A fish girl goes mute, tramps it up like a Kardashian, lands a prince, and lives happily ever after. Yeah, so my parents actually tell me that I used to have a big crush on her as a kid. Apparently I used to just say Ariel all the time, and whenever my parents were asking me and my sister what we wanted to watch, I would say Ariel. A boy gains an interest. What is that? In botany? Because he wants his neighbor to marry him. Let me look this up. Botany. Botany is the branch of biology that deals with the study of plants. The term botany is derived from the adjective botanic, that is derived from the Greek word botane. Hero. It's gonna take a long time to find the villain's lair. The villain's lair? When cartoon characters get hit on the head. Yes, this is long brain time. This was not geometrically possible. Cartoon characters when they smell a pie. Cartoons are so unrealistic. Meanwhile, real life. Cartoon characters with glasses on versus cartoon characters without glasses is naked all day long, but afraid to be seen while taking a bath. How do you make fire underwater? We should ask them. Death. Cartoon character falling off a building. Whatever the hell this thing is. And in movies too. I've been trying to hunt a rabbit all day. Gets upset when he finally shoots him. I don't know. Being shy. Cartoon. Versus being shy in real life. Why is everybody randomly singing? You can't marry someone you just met. Finally, someone said something. If the slipper was a perfect fit, how did it slip off? If only Brian could reach the pedals. If Beauty and the Beast teaches us one thing, it's that looks don't matter. As long as you keep her locked up long enough. Why does Squidward's face show more emotion than Elsa's? His paycheck. Like this for me, will you? Oh, sure. Do we need a torch? I'm sort of made of fire. Reevaluates life choices. Cartoons be like, screw logic. The dad and the daughter. The outside of cartoon houses versus the inside of cartoon houses. The 3 little pigs have their father hanging on the wall. How the heck did Ferb survive this? Shouldn't he be dead? Cartoon character gets a concussion. Stars and birds. Largest predator. Eats bugs. How broccoli actually tastes versus how cartoons portray its taste. Friend. Front-facing cartoon characters do not exist. They cannot hurt you. Front-facing cartoon characters can lift a rhino, but not a lion cub. Maybe the lion cub's heavier. Bugs Bunny shaving his beard. Make a stranger fall in love with me in 3 days, or sell my soul to a sea witch. Challenge accepted. Trying to steal a useless Pikachu for 10 years. They don't give a damn about the only talking Pokemon in the world. I love Meowth. Disney logic. A mouse walking a dog. Powers can't pass through gloves. Can pass through shoes easily. Mute naked girl on the beach. Seems legit. I'll put a ring on it. One does not simply recognize Team Rocket. Cartoon logic. Of course you need a complete female disguise when you have to make your voice heard through a tiny hole. Can't you just get out? Cartoons then versus cartoons now. What they look like. Cartoon versus cartoon movie. Literally just adding shadow. Reasons why I stopped watching Cartoon Network. 1. I grew up. 1%. It became awful. 99%. Sandy whistling with her fingers while her helmet is on. Screw logic. Gravity. Time to fall down. Random cartoon character. But I haven't looked down yet. Gravity. Understandable. Have a great day. I just just understood what the chum bucket is on SpongeBob. After all these years, I just realized chum is something that fishermen use as bait. It's chopped up fish parts. It's a cannibal restaurant. That's why nobody goes there. I'm having a revelation over here. A sponge washing dishes. Never wears a t-shirt. Always has a tan line. Wow, great disguise you got there. You can't hold nor lift fire. Fire is not a solid mass. Find abandoned cottage. Cleans it. They have unmasked hundreds of phonies, still afraid of monsters. How the hell is Zubat holding Squirtle with sheer willpower? I want to listen to a song, but these headphones are so useless. Have you tried putting them on your ears? Dating since 1928, still not married. Sandwich eat sandwich. Donut eat donut. Potato eat potato. What the hell am I watching? Shadow disattaches. Uses soap. Only knows 2 people. Bothers to learn only one of their names. Literate. Only communicates via body language after spell is cast. Most powerful Pokemon in the world. Punches it. Why am I swimming alone? I'm like 5. Ability to cure cancer. Wishes for a chocolate snowboard. Questions if it's safe to ride. Has a tiger for a pet. Can survive at the bottom of the ocean without air. Drowns. Anime logic. Yelling makes you stronger. I'm pretty sure this is real life too. Like you're at the gym. Father and daughter. Aquaman. That is BS, and you know it. He's basically like God. Do you realize that my arms are still free? Yeah, but they trust you, Spider-Man. Nobody. Sasuke's legs. It makes no sense. Kidnapped by monster. Befriend his furniture. No one blinks an eye. 15, 17, 14, 15. Everyone loses their minds. 19. Namek will explode in 5 minutes. Takes 12 episodes. So if you put SpongeBob, Pikachu, and Homer together, it looks horrifying. I think we all deserve to know what's in those cages. What are SpongeBob's sleeves attached to? His holes. I don't know. Right view, front view, left view. Cartoon logic. They're too stupid to realize. Going to see a therapist in a cartoon starter pack. It all started. Therapist never female. Typically a white bearded older man in a suit and wire-framed reading glasses that rest on his nose. People outraged at gay cartoon characters in 2017. Cartoon Network had a cross-dressing satanic lobster ready for the stuff in 1999. Old cartoons. I've chased a mouse with a chainsaw. Cartoons now. Violence is not the answer. Also cartoons now. Violence is the answer. Western cartoons be like, let's go to Africa to see the wilderness. Let's go to Egypt to see the pyramids. I like to move it, move it. Dog logic. Please throw. No take. Only throw. Minecraft logic. Blocking water with a fence. Imaginary friend who vanishes when people show up. Seems legit. Team Rocket's Meowth. Works his butt off to force himself to stand / walk like a human. Nintendo. Casually makes every single other Meowth be able to naturally do the same. Japan. Let's make our cartoon characters pretty and cute. US. Let's make our cartoon characters the ugliest beings ever to exist. Goes to outer space with no helmet whatsoever. Lives to tell the story. You watch children cartoons? No, anime is not children cartoons. They have all kinds of genres, and a lot of them are complex and mature. Yes. Naked all day. Wears clothing at the beach. Disney. Teaching you not to talk to strangers, unless they're hot. All holes are portable. I wish life was like this. TPing. How the hell does this kid put a t-shirt on? He doesn't. He is the t-shirt. He can never take it off. He was born wearing a t-shirt. Nobody in the whole kingdom has the same shoe size. Seriously? Her feet must have been awful, dude. A whole kingdom and no one has the same size of feet. Really? Go get your feet checked out, Cinderella. So, Tarzan can use his butt to hold himself up. If that's unimpressive, he can also hold another person up as well. Question? How the hell is she gonna play that thing? I'm drowning underwater. Screw logic. Cats during emergencies. Help, I'm drowning. Ignores you. Bad guy in cartoon. Runs off cliff. Gravity. Match begins in 5. Rest in peace, logic. Ducks eating chicken. Donald does not care. Learns English from an English girl. Has an American accent. Finds a random corpse in the woods. Kisses it. Says you are the love of his life. Forgets what you look like and has to put a shoe on every girl in the kingdom. Multilingual at age 4. Can't locate things next to her. Kills people with no emotion. Gets scared at a haunted house. Name, Arnold. Born? Yes. Team Rocket. Wears obvious disguise. Ash, I don't even know who you are. Clothes change at 12. Glass slippers still glass. Cartoon logic. The wheel hadn't been invented yet. So they're using wheels, but they're not really using wheels. Cute cartoon versus Hollywood movie. Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that Flats the Flounder already knows how to drive, even though he just started attending boating school. Okay, Rick. Sure. Rick has got everything in that science code. Has anyone noticed this guy's mustache is in the wrong place? You ruined my day. Wait a moment. How is he holding the cigar? With his nose. Wait, he's smoking through his nose. Came from another planet. Speaks perfect English. Where is your girlfriend? I don't have one. Louder. I don't have one. The logic in this scene makes no sense. Tell us, what fate do you decide for the loser? Death. Fable. How is it even possible? Uh-oh, we're out of water. So, just use your Pokemon. What should we do? It's so hot in this desert. Are you kidding me? You have at least 3 water types. What the hell is wrong with these people? New Cartoon Network logic. Can barely lift soda. Flawlessly lifts car with one hand. Apu's child is growing normally, but Maggie is still 1 year old during 28 years. Raised in jungle by apes. How in the world is he shaved? Crazy stepmother wants her heart in a box. What do you do when things go wrong? Oh, of course, sing a song. Clothes change back to rags at midnight. Glass slippers stay the same. This is a horse. Your argument is invalid. Has met Jesus multiple times. Still an atheist. How does his glasses stay on without nose or ear support? Because Arthur is just... I don't know. Why? I don't even know. Maybe he's got like some clips at the back of his head. Flies a plane. Is a bird. Let's rock, scissors, paper for it. Scissor beats paper. Why do they need to tiptoe past when they can float in the air? Wear masks. Not like they are giant turtles or anything. Can build an advanced laboratory equipped with time machines and lasers. Can't build a security system to keep his sister out of it. Father wields a mighty trident, amazed by a fork. Ariel is stupid. Gravity won't work until you look down. I wish life worked like this. You can just chill in the air. SpongeBob physics. So, did they have hair or not? I think so, but I also think their skull was their hair. Both. The answer's both. Listens to music with his eyes. Screw logic. Want to make it obvious that 2 characters are married? Make them look like brother and sister. I don't like that this is accurate. Why is this a thing? What kind of science is this? It's magic. Minnie Mouse gets afraid of mice, even if she's also a mouse. Eek! A mouse! Disney logic. So, Donald the perverted duck. It's now your name. You knew what you were doing. They can't get out. Both are dogs. One is a pet and the other one is the owner. Celebrated Christmas before the birth of Christ. Who would win? A millionaire oil tycoon with a mission of world domination, running a rigged competition and possessing an empire built on corruption, murder, and other acts of human cruelty. A middle schooler with a ball. I just want to remind everyone of the time in 1980s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when the Turtles asked Casey Jones to infiltrate a corporate office they believed was linked to Shredder. And this is how he showed up to the interview. He got the job. How did his parents not know about this secret lab? That electric bill must have been higher than Wiz Khalifa. I never watched this, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe their parents were really rich. Someone could correct me, I haven't watched the show. Explain this. I can't. I can't explain this. Can you explain in the comments how it probably happened? Bob the Animator. Okay, so there's going to be a broken piece of a sign that says KL on it. Can you draw that? Frank the Animator. Yeah, sure. How does this look? Someone who doesn't watch Gravity Falls. Explain this picture. Time to collect that inheritance. Even though I am an animator that works in Japan, I really try not to make comparisons like this, but television animation in Japan versus America. Unpopular opinion, horror movies. Horror movies with friends are comedy movies. In the movie Up, Russell has a round appearance. This is because he is obese. Of all movie opening scenes, which one sold the entire film? Filmmakers be like, this isn't Mexico, this is Mexico. Why are there no night museums? There are 3 movies explaining what happens at night to the museums. Cops in superhero movies be like, stay out of it, we got this. Music is so unbelievably overrated. It's like the lowest form of media to consume in your spare time. Movies, books, and shows cliss so hard. This your face reveal? Me, choking my parallel universe doppelganger, who has a better life than me, so I can take his place. I hope I'm not the only one who actually enjoyed watching movies on these back in the day. My favorite part of racing sequences in movies is when someone notices they're behind, so they just decide to be faster. A theory about Will Ferrell being in movies about popular toy brands. Imagine if the CEO in Barbie actually turns out to be the dad from the Lego movie. What's that? It's hideous. Well, that's not very nice. It's just a donkey. Shrek is the god of self-confidence. When you're trying to to tell the humans that you're fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, and they keep interrupting you. Actors in a movie, kissing their real-life spouses. The next generation of the MCU, Thanos would have done crazy numbers during this era. Your move, Hollywood. I would love to see this. I don't usually stop to admire scenery, but this picture is beautiful. Am I tripping, or is that... Since it's the Batman week, here's Robert Pattinson seeing Snapchat filters work for the first time. Movie producers, after making another mediocre movie starring The Rock and Kevin Hart. Films on my watch list for months. Me, films I heard of 3 minutes ago. Here, you take my ID, and if anything goes wrong, you bust in like you're the LAPD. This won't work. I'm not 6'3". What the hell is that noise, Private Beta? Do you have asthma? Do you need your mummy? Oh right. Oh, that's right. She's dead. Johnny Depp is so confusing. Like, sometimes he looks like this. Then later, he looks like this. He doesn't even look like the same person. And don't get me started on his voice. He's an actor. Actor. Screw that. He passed actor a long time ago. He's a straight up shapeshifter at this point. In Spider-Man 2002, Peter has a radioactive spider bite the size of a golf ball. But instead of going to a doctor, he decides to sleep it off. This is because Peter lives in America. Film bros, when you tell them you want to watch a Marvel movie and not a 2-hour animated movie about a French culinary culture show shown through the eyes of a rat. Serial killers in movies versus in real life. To make sure their accents were accurate, the child actors in the Harry Potter movies were forced to grow up in England. The cruelty these actors had to endure is immeasurable. In Flushed Away, there is a copy of London in the sewers. This is a reference to the fact that London is a shithole. Oh, looks like she's running away. I'll wait till she trips over nothing. Bitch is always tripping over nothing. Fall 2 is in the works. They climb up it again. There should be bloopers at the end of horror movies, just to let a person sleep in peace. While most movies nowadays use expensive CGI technology to make actors appear younger, Saw 6 used the far superior method of just wearing a baseball cap backwards in the flashbacks, filming the train crash scene from Back to the Future 3 in the 1980s. Diver sets new record for holding his breath underwater for 24 minutes and 33 seconds. The guy who filmed Finding Nemo. Lady behind me at the Thing screening last night to her partner, "Why are they shooting at the dog?" And her partner says very firmly, "Have you never seen a film before? You watch it and information is revealed." Just reported this to the authorities because clearly this person is a psycho. How to not run out of popcorn before the movie starts. In every action movie, this thing must be destroyed. Oh, thank God. I was worried Five Nights at Freddy's wouldn't include Five Nights at Freddy's. How it started versus how it's going. My family watching a movie. Me explaining where we've seen each actor before. Name a Sonic the Hedgehog character without the letter A. Sonic the Hedgehog. The typical bully of American movies. Teenagers in Netflix series be like, I'm 15 years old, obsessed with William Dafoe's idea that acting equals being a creature. My pet, who doesn't understand it's begging for boiling water that's on the stove. You can't animate women easily. They have to stay pretty all the time. I love it when reaction images are also examples. If you ever feel like shit, just remember Courtney Cox's hair in Scream 3. Wow, what the hell? The most unrealistic thing I've ever seen in a movie is when an entire family sits down to eat breakfast together on a weekday. Movies used to be about putting Nicholas Hoult in an absurd amount of makeup to play a little freak. My grandma watches the randomest movies. Why is there a gorilla playing baseball on my TV right now? I always remembered the Saw franchise being that Jigsaw targeted people who did bad things or deserved to die. But now that I'm rewatching all the movies, I'd realized Jigsaw was just a dick. Bro kidnapped a dude mourning the death of his child and punished him for being sad about it. Don't forget he kidnapped that same dude's wife because she took antidepressants to cope with life after her child tragically died. Why do the movies never show us this Spider-Man? Fun fact, Spider-Man once beat the Hulk by telling him a joke that was so funny, he turned back into Bruce Banner to laugh. Movies logic. Our house is haunted. Let the kids sleep alone, no matter what happens. When you buy one large popcorn and a soda at the movies, bill $10,000. Stop casting famous people for romance movies. Stop casting famous people in movies. Stop casting for movies. Let it be randomly selected, like jury service. Sorry, can't legally come to work today. I'm the new Batman. New York has been destroyed in more movies than any other city. The single best line in all of live-action Transformer movies. They literally call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't set off any red flags. This movie is an insult to movies and art in general. The fact it exists and made over $1 billion is disgusting. If instead of rebooting movies, retelling them from a different point of view became popular, which movie would you like to be retold? WALL-E. The furniture in kung fu movies breaks so easily, not because the martial arts in China are really strong, It's because the furniture is made in China. Horror fans, after going through hundreds of hours of terrible movies to get to one decent horror movie, this is an entire genre. Being salty that Monsters Inc. lost the 2002 Academy Award to Shrek, knowing that Mike Wazowski and Shrek would want us all to enjoy both movies. Who the hell got high and thought Ryan Reynolds should voice Pikachu? Probably Ryan Reynolds. Patrick, it's you. You're the American Psycho? He didn't say that. I can't believe they did the unthinkable and gave Princess Peach an actual personality. One thing about me is I can watch a whole movie / series in 20 minutes. It starts getting boring, I skip it. There's too much talking, I skip it. Keanu Reeves in Berlin for John Wick 4. Why does his hair look exactly like the pine tree over his right shoulder? Camouflage, a deadly tool for an assassin. Keanu Flage. Did you know Spider-Man 2002 was filmed entirely without CGI? Tobey Maguire could just do all of that. No more sneaking snacks into the movies. Starting this Thursday, Cinemark will no longer allow large bags into its theaters. Good thing I have a few Twix up my sleeve. If my film professor was this smoking hot, I simply would not kill her. Ghostface, you are messed up, buddy. TikTok plastic surgeons and spa technicians when women's faces show signs of having lived a life and have distinct facial features, and their faces aren't completely paralyzed by Botox. Kid starts drowning in chocolate river. The kid, the parents, Willy Wonka, the Oompa Loompas. Ever wanted to rub Shrek's face all over your naked body? Only every single day of my life. Today's actresses simply don't look into tiny mirrors after society turned them into monsters like they used to. I bet he's thinking about other women. How does Darth Maul sleep on a pillow with those horns? They better put Big Chungus in the new Space Jam movie. No way, they actually did it. As a 90s kid, I have been searching for this pizza since 1995. Kung Fu Panda was so successful in China that it caused a national debate on why Westerners made a better film about Chinese culture than the Chinese themselves. Holy, this guy on the bus talking to a girl about how he trades stocks. And she goes, "Have you ever seen American Psycho?" "No, I can't take the time off trading." Dear Jerry Seinfeld, on behalf of America, I would like to apologize for the way we have treated the B-movie over the years. It is the cornerstone of cinema, and we do not deserve its glory. Thank you, Harvey. Very nice. Rebellions are built on hope and pizza. 8 movies, 0 Oscars. 23, 3, 9, 7, 3, 17. Animated movies versus live-action movies. We have a couple Star Wars kids books, and my 19-month-old daughter has decided that she has a favorite character. She kisses his face on the page when she sees him, and was beyond delighted when we showed her some clips from the movies with him in it. It's Jabba. Jabba the Hutt. Brilliant. This man reads all the spoilers of upcoming Marvel movies, and now he doesn't have to watch them. A John Wick video game is in early development. This might actually be one of the easiest movies to replicate in video form. This should be a banger. John Wick movies are so funny. He goes into like a noodle shop and says, "I'd like something spicy." And a Chinese guy puts his hand into a big pot of broth and pulls out an AR-15 and says, "Enjoy your meal, Mr. Wick." And then John has a fight in the New York Museum of Hatchets. Hackers in movies be like, I'm in. Post-production breakdown. Editing. Time spent making or looking for music. After being killed 23 times on screen, Sean Bean is now rejecting roles where he dies. The actor with the eyebrows. This guy once said it was a human instinct to want to eat someone in a wheelchair. There have been numerous... What? Listen, I know each actor brings their own spice to a role, but I just can't take Timothy Chalamet's Wonka seriously. Where is the madness behind his eyes? The malice. The complete disregard for the laws of mankind and decency. This man makes me fear that I'll be shoved into a taffy machine at the slightest provocation. I hate horror movie fans. Always saying stuff like, have you seen Clowntown 4? It was straight to DVD and banned in Brazil. The ending is a 30-minute torture scene. It's honestly better than The Godfather. Actors playing a 14-year-old in a high school show. Babies in cinemas. Paul Rudd had everyone from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to sign this Captain America shield. It sold for $53,000, with 100% of the proceedings going to the Children's Mercy. Joker viewers walked out of the cinema because it was too dark. You don't have to check Spotify. You were the most played this year. I got a new job at a cinema and it changed my life. I asked my boss, what if we see someone taking in their own food? And she said, Ryan, it's a myth. People can bring their own food in here. My life has been a lie. High school and films. The truth is, I always loved you since the first day I saw you in school. Ah, I love you too, Mark. High school in real life. We have a test today. Fuck. How people argued in old films. Piano music. Yeah, just constant piano music. Film made 5 years ago. YouTube video made 5 years ago. Movies that emotionally scar normal people. Me. When you see a horror movie, and you see it's based on a real life story, Joker ending explained. Those names were the people who worked on the film. How I look the entire day, versus how I look at a random moment at 3 AM in the bathroom. A finite amount of popcorn that just might be able to stretch to the end of a movie with a little discipline. Me, during the opening trailers. Isn't it so dumb though? We pay to see a movie and then we watch trailers for 20 minutes. What's the most random link up ever? The very first father that mothered. I will never be a simp. At your service, my queen. Tom is wearing the most British fit I've ever seen. Movie scientists about to explain wormhole starter pack. Spider-Man movie. Peter Parker is wearing the Green Goblin's colors, and Norman Osborn is wearing Spider-Man's colors. You had to have been there on a Friday night. Saw this and was like, oh, okay, potentially the best DC movie this year. All the other DC movies this year have been shit to mediocre, so that's not really saying much. Bill Burr as Mayfield had a better ex-Stormtrooper arc in 15 minutes than Finn got in 3 entire Star Wars movies. I hate seeing newborn/fresh babies in TV or movies. Like, who the hell is donating their minute-old babies to production? Like, I need to get to the bottom of this. Sent to negotiate trade routes. Sparks 6 movies of intergalactic war. You had one job. The reason Michael Caine and Tim Curry are so good in their respective Muppet movies is that Michael Caine treats the puppets as fellow actors, and Tim Curry treats himself as a fellow Muppet. Discuss. Movies about sociopath narcissistics who are unreliable narrators. When it's raining, but you like Ghibli movies. I'm at the age where I watch movies and pass out during the opening credits. Bro created the X-Men Sentinels and the Hunger Games. He needs to be stopped. He really ruined Jennifer Lawrence's life twice. Bad and entertaining over good and boring. Calling Sam's Spider-Man 2 boring has got to be one of the most insane things I have ever heard. They want to be Shrek and Fiona so bad. Well, I'm never going to unsee this, so I might as well inflict it onto as many people as I can. I'm just like Patrick, but instead of being a sadistic egomanic psychopath, I get really scared around girls. What people think actors do between sets versus what actors really do between sets. Explaining the Fast and Furious movie starter pack. I've never watched one, so watching a movie that sucks from a director you love. This goes insanely hard. Vin Diesel, when they say they are going to stop making Fast and Furious movies. What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family. Can these directors please learn to use dark palettes without making all the details in the shots imperceivable? I can't see. The characters go into a darker room. Me. Directors handing their films to the editor. Does not work, but could be fun to fix. Babe, we have guests. Go get the fancy cups. Historical figures versus actors playing historical figures. British actors doing an American accent. American actors doing a British accent. With 1/6 gravity, you can work and be lazy at the same time. It's like being a voice actor. Fuck you. The new Batman movie suggests that Thomas and Martha Wayne were killed in 2001, which means it's very unlikely that they died taking their beloved son Bruce to the theater to see Shrek. Very likely. Women, did you really expect me to do the deed with you after dating for over 3 months, giving me gifts, compliments, blah blah blah? Men, kinda. Redditors, when they learn that there's more to a relationship than doing the deed and that they're not owed it. Military crisis in a movie starter pack. With all due respect, sir, that's an order. Sir, I think you should take a look at this. My god, they're everywhere. Meanwhile, at the movies, sir, you just dropped your $129 worth in popcorn. Peter, I don't want to hear about your 2 jobs, university internship, dead parents, dead uncle, and 1 living relative soul who is a sick old lady, financial struggles, loss of your house, and your scooter that got demolished in a car accident. Why didn't you show up to my play? I have to get with Chad now. Bye. Thinking about how Indiana Jones basically adopted a Chinese war orphan, and then he disappears between movies and is never mentioned again. Short Round definitely died on some adventure that a kid had no business being on, and Indy was like, ah well, no paper trail, so no harm done. Disney be like, let's make an NFT based on one of Pixar's most beloved movies that literally tells audiences to better conserve and do your part in helping out with the environment, but also fighting against corporate consumerist culture. Imagine a movie with these 4. Whoever is creating White Hulk edits. Robert Pattinson reveals that he anonymously argues with Batman haters online. Every male on Earth is somewhere on this diagram. Item, some sort of jewel-encrusted severed foot. That's the Infinity Sock. This is the pinnacle of character design. They show more emotion than half of the animated characters I've seen. Mystery solved. Who is faster, Superman or the Flash? The cameraman. Again, I ask you, what does Hollywood have against Tom Tom Hardy's face. I have never noticed before today that Spidey wasn't real. Still laughing about it 3 hours later. Have you noticed her hair's flying in the wrong direction? This is all just messed up. I asked my mom why I stopped martial arts when I was a kid, and she said she saw a great darkness in my eyes. Face swap of the week up. The most logical argument in any Marvel movie. Why would you want to save the galaxy? Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it. Someday future archaeologists are going to dig up Disney World and think it was some bizarre mouse worshipping kingdom. Me staring at Superman after my 12-hour shift just to see him throw my car to the villain and miss. I'm tired of Florida. Can they even do this? Is this legal? Bro got pulled over by Optimus Prime. He was honestly the only normal character in the whole movie. POV. It's 2004. The golden age of cinema. A new movie from the new Super Mario Bros. Movie has been released. She can do all this stuff, yet Bowser captures her every time. How do you guys feel about the fact that these two characters exist in the same universe? My husband and his brother have been playing with their new lightsabers for hours. Spooderman is canon. Imagine drawing Spider-Man in MS Paint really poorly as a joke, and years later it's in an official Spider-Man movie. Titanic sinking behind the scenes in 1997. Me, actually drowning. Wow, they're really committed to this role. Even though I was like 10, I still thought, how the hell did he pipe her? Chris Evans with a beard versus Chris Evans with a mustache. Captain America versus Captain America. Every villainous group looks like this. You wake up as Superman. What is the first thing you do? Go back to sleep and hopefully wake up to be Batman. Yes, because if I wake up as an alien demigod who can fly at supersonic speeds and lift an aircraft carrier above his head, the first thing I'll think is, I wish I was an unstable orphan in a bad costume. Really happy to see Disney animals without Disney eyes. More mindless animals, please. I don't want to see a single thought in those eyes. What is happening? I don't know, and I don't like it. Breaking. Disney announces live-action Lilo and Stitch. Okay, they need to unannounce it. I really don't know what to say about my hotel room view. Yeah, I'm not finishing off that one. Since we're talking about range, you're telling me these are 4 different movies. Do you think you could take him? Yeah. Oh, you mean a fight. The opposite of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The 4 knights of paradise. These dogs are the villains in a movie where a golden retriever wins a snowboarding tournament. Thanos after a week in Bulgaria. A Pixar theory. Keep your theories to yourself. American producers when the scene of a movie takes place in Mexico. I don't care, but they can definitely get it. God, please help this generation. When you realize every kid in the first Toy Story movie is Andy, but wearing different clothes. The best duo in cinematic history. Everybody else can leave. I need a Disney short about the night Edna babysat. No shade, but that bottom one is literally Logan Paul. When Mickey Mouse gets the orcs. Hot dog, hot... Yeah, hot dog, man. The glow up nobody is talking about. Toy Story 4. Why do I not remember the original Toy Story graphics looking that bad? Imagine having to wake up at the break of dawn to go watch your boss show off his kid. Roses are red. This is some advanced humor. I don't get it. I don't trust you if you think Violet is not the most relatable character in history. Hello, have you seen my son? Finding Nemo. I keep forgetting that I have a Shrek mask hanging from my ceiling, and every time I see it, I scream. Why was he kinda hard? Quarantine is hitting some people harder than others. The scene versus the cameraman. Rich girl lets poor man freeze to death. Always wash your grapes. And miss my chance to become Spider-Man? I think not. Who wins this fight and why? You're literally putting the God of Thunder against a guy with a sore throat in a Halloween costume. The detail in the first Incredibles versus Incredibles 2. I'm blown away. Anyone else just feel like this is a waste of time? Legitimately thought this was Batman twerking. My cousin has a Michael Myers mask and he can't stop wearing it. Sit back and relax, the Incredibles way. If you knew nothing about the Incredibles, this would be a horrifying picture. Mark Zuckerberg always looks like the guy in a zombie movie who's been bitten but is trying to keep it a secret from everyone. Note to self, never travel with Sandra Bullock, but did she or did she not get where she needed to be? Who would win in a fight? Remy. I hate this debate. He's a street rat. He would absolutely clobber Stuart with his bare hands. Stuart hasn't worked for anything in his life. Remy knows the struggle. Stuart is a little wimp. It's not that personal. We were supposed to put sayings on rocks as a wedding present, and I couldn't think of anything, so I made this. They look like dads taking a selfie after dropping their kids to school. You guys realize that this scene means a group of animators would have had to ask themselves, okay, now how do we make a tortilla move? Hulk's nipples glow when you pinch them. That's the Infinity Stone. This looks like an album cover of some fire music. She ain't much, but this is my baby Cynthia. Bro, did you kidnap Mater? Usually don't like sharing things from my personal life, but here is a picture of me doing karaoke last night. Massive crack in Antarctica ice shelf spanning 11 miles. That damn squirrel. Are these cute? Yes or no? Thanos on his way to the club. In therapy ever since. Disney wakes up every morning and chooses trauma. Don't feel bad about not having a girlfriend yet. Remember Shrek didn't have a girlfriend until he was 30. Unlike Shrek, I'm not sexy as hell. If you could eat one food from any animated movie, what would it be? Minus the eggs from Shrek, Daphne from Scooby-Doo. A 3-year-old Pennywise the clown is adorably terrifying. Look, I'll punch a kid too. These hands rated E for everybody. I have lost my ability to be able to. I've never seen The Incredibles, but why is this mum shaped like an IG model? You mean why are IG models shaped like Mrs. Incredible? Elastigirl has been thick since 2004. The most amazing thing about Finding Dory is how they managed to put a receding hairline on a fish. Cursed Image 1616 is Pennywise dropping a mixtape. The Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer is what dreams are made of. They're making sure everyone knows they own literally everything. Disney is that guy. Marvel loves this aesthetic. The owner of Alvin and the Chipmunks is looking to sell them for $300 million. I'm going to buy them and put them in the oven. Due to less air pollution, the sky is so clear I can see the Universal logo. I asked my 5-year-old to keep an eye on his sister while I served him dinner. I peek out of the kitchen and I find him like this. The first design of what Voldemort was supposed to like. Thank God they didn't choose this one. Imagine the trauma. I had enough with the Screaming Book. Movie scenes that feel like posts, a thread. When you realize that Jacqueline Phoenix used to play Superboy before becoming Joker. Officer Judy Hopps to scale. How do you even explain this to God on the Judgment Day? Amy Schumer was initially cast as Barbie, but ultimately left the role in 2017. Don't think there's been a movie that has dodged a bullet this hard. What did he attach his web to? Uncle Ben. Disney really gifted us with some fine men. That is a fox and a car. Gru is 14 feet tall. They grow up so fast. Everyone says thank you to the nice artists and animators that listen to criticism and fix their mistakes. I still can't believe y'all cyberbullied an entire studio. 4 Michigan men arrested for driving a horse and a buggy while drunk. They look like the villagers in Shrek. Does my friend look like Pocahontas? No, she looks like the people that took her land though. These movies are for kids. She said yes. Is that Voldemort's wand? Otis versus Alex. Oh, his name's Alex. Alex wins. I found the Lorax. Why are vampires always wealthy in movies? Like how do they make a living? If you've been alive since 1892 and still broke, just step into the sun. You hear a door slam, you turn around and see him. What are you doing? Ask him what bills he paying to be slamming doors in my house. The only simp we can respect. Friendly reminder that Fiona chose a literal ogre over a short guy. Marvel characters, but their weapons are everyday items. No, Tom Holland, not like that pose. You know I had to do it to them, Mr. Stark. Whenever you think you're being gaslighted, just remember what he went through. Probably my favorite movie of all time. Who scared y'all the most when you were younger? My mum. The real cinema won in the end. Am I the only one who liked the new Avatar movie? Pizza shop workers took down an armed robber, but when the police took off his mask, they discovered he was their old boss. Boy, what kind of Scooby-Doo stuff is this? Reminder of one of the darkest moments in history. Imagine the divorce. Lawyer. So you want to divorce Minnie because she was extremely silly? No, I said she was fucking goofy. Good morning. Did you know there is a life-size Jason Voorhees statue standing 120 feet down in the Crystal Lake in Minnesota? The way this year is set up, that guy is gonna come alive next week. Tom Hanks stated that the ending of Toy Story 4 was so intense he didn't want to face the crew while recording lines. Mr. Potato says the N-word. Are we just going to forget this scene? Rats are unable to throw up or gag, so this dude's soup was so bad that it broke the rules of nature. No way, he was the hot fish from Nemo. The hot fish from Nemo? What do you mean the hot fish from Nemo? Bring this man back for Despicable Me 4 and just watch the box office explode. This man has been trapped on the moon since the first movie with no water or food. This man is dead. I just realized. Elastigirl's suit is red. Mr. Incredible's suit is blue. What's the name of their first child? Violet. Wow, they made Optimus Prime into a real thing. Lightning McQueen didn't win the Piston Cup to be referred to as Optimus Prime. You ungrateful bastard. I'm losing my absolute mind at the Elmo in the background. He looks traumatized. The older I get, the more I wonder what Kevin's dad did for a living. To afford this house and a vacation to Paris for 9 people. Someone's mum said no. That is not Frozen. That's Crystal. Cold showers have many benefits. The average cold shower experience. What has been seen cannot be unseen. He loves watching scary shows, except for the scary parts. Imagine having braces during the apocalypse. No one can take your braces off, and you just have to accept that you'll have braces forever. Who would win in a baddie alien fight? Roger is the baddest of the galaxy. How about to end our life pact? The B movie is rated PG for parental guidance. BZ triviality. I need a moment. There's The Graduate. We're very proud of you, son. And a perfect report card. All B's. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry about all that. She left his guy for a B. A B. Buy this awesome cologne to smell like a goddamn bee from a goddamn movie. I can't express how much I hate fucking bees. And stop fucking bees. It's really a simple solution. You know what I meant. Not after the bee movie, we don't. That's a drag queen. What the hell? I'm still convinced this entire movie was a mass hallucination. Are you her little bedbug? What the hell is this movie about? The bee movie trailer, but the bees are thick. Every day we walk further from God's light. When someone compliments me, I too make a loud jarring noise. Hey, I like your shirt. Mwah. I just watched a Peppa Pig makeup tutorial, and I am never sleeping again. This meme's been shown to I can't even speak. Is Nemo going to be a sassy, rebellious teenager? No, Dad, you don't understand me. Finding emo. Dad, I'm going to touch the boat. Don't tell me what I can't do. You know how skilled you have to be to make a tattoo look like a patch? So you're telling me that's not a patch glued to her arm. Lion King was one of the first movies to teach us to be your own friends. Why I never trust a guy who drinks milk. I love how milk has become the universal symbol of true evil. Man captures bee, forces it to watch the bee movie. Anyone else's wife sleep like this too? Your wife has actually snuck out to a party in an 80s teen movie. My grandpa got bitten by a spider and was really upset, so I went to get some cream. But before I could leave the room, I heard him say, "At this age I can't handle the responsibility of being a Spider-Man. Either my friend is really good at Photoshop or Ryan Reynolds broke into my apartment. Tell the cops it was Photoshop. Twilight without the blue tint just makes me uncomfortable. Joker, 5 stars. This happened to my buddy Eric. Shrek be like, don't care. My dad is actually the villain from Despicable Me. This is amazing. I can't stop laughing at the reasoning for Twister's PG-13 rating. Intense depiction of very bad weather. Movies in 1970s versus movies in the 2000s. It's been 19 years, and still can't believe how they managed to sneak Scooby-Doo on a plane in disguise. Excuse me. How long? If you're ever feeling down, just remember that whenever Baby Groot is standing on someone's shoulder, he holds onto their ear for balance. The 7-Eleven employee looking at me when I'm hungry and buying 15 chocolate bars. Why are you buying 15 chocolate bars in the first place? Your ass is mine, Spider-Man, not the Green Goblin. And you look more like Walter than Walter White. Still can't believe this is an actual episode of Black Mirror. I'm driver. Final instruction. Take car away and destroy. Just you alone. This actually makes me laugh so hard. And it's not even funny to sane people. I want her so bad. Same. Shortest month, and you select me. This will not be forgotten. I'm sorry, but it will be. Want to know who wouldn't have these problems with Thanos? Let them defeat Rotten Tomatoes first. 38 people have died in this house, and it's haunted. Horror movie families. Tell me something that I don't know. Scooby-Doo is basically a show that teaches kids that the villain in our lives are usually not strangers, but rather people we know and trust. Clearly not good at teaching that then. Spider-Man vs. Ant-Man. Oh, watch it. When your dog is a better Harry Potter cosplayer than you. After losing his father, a young boy joins a hippie group and becomes a vegan. I knew 6ix9ine looked familiar. Bro, don't ever disrespect Lady Glitter Sparkles like this again. An artist published a work with Disney drawings and the current world situation. Why is Elsa's stupid self crying? Instead of making ice, useless person. Movies where a creature of another species with a love for good food meets a mess of a human down on his luck, living in a bad apartment, and the creature can control this guy's actions, and he's unwilling at first, but they learn to cooperate, and together they can stop the evil rich man trying to take them down. Remember when Loki put barriers on the I don't remember this. It's Lemon Grab. I'm screaming. Unacceptable. Who has the most on-site rivalry? Tom and Jerry didn't say a word for 70 years all action. Robert Pattinson falling asleep at his own film festival tribute. That's Bruce Wayne. Great value DiCaprio and Cruz. Delete this. Right now. Tom Holland said that while filming Spider-Man Homecoming, Michael Keaton would whisper, "I'm Batman," during fight scenes. People are rewatching Tangled and realizing she was literally quarantined for 18 years, and the kingdom is called 90% of millennial couples look like this. I hate how painfully accurate this is. My most recent ex and me. A villain that became a villain, not because they seek vengeance or crave power, but because villains always have better one-liners, outfits, and musical numbers. Saw these cats and reminded me of those 3 alley cats with the colored sweaters from Tom and Jerry. I was watching Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. They really made this as realistic as possible, huh? Ralph is straight clowning. I loved this movie. Like, honestly, yeah, Mickey Mouse is cool and all, emotional, but can we talk about Goofy for a sec? He was a single dad who raised his son, and when he lost his job, he went back to college so he could get a job to support his son. That mouse has nothing on this dog. Disney plans to start shooting Bambi, his next live-action remake. Was shooting his mother not enough? No, not even for once have any of them stopped at a gas station, because they have Vin Diesel. They deadass use Getty image. Okay, I think I've used this meme in a video before, so I'm not gonna read it. Sorry. I mean, if you want, you can pause the video, but that's fine. Tell me something I don't know. If Pinocchio had said that his nose grows longer every time he tells the truth, nobody would know he was lying. Paranoid billionaire, afraid of immigrant. This dude just rolled into our maths class and left. I spent 6K and over 40 hours building my 100% movie accurate Groot costume, and yet all the idiots in my office can't stop emailing about Shannon's toddler bull baby Groot costume that honestly looks like a turd in a marshmallow. VIP cinema. Suddenly you'd start hearing clapping, and it won't be a round of applause. 10 hours of Darth Vader breathing. What the hell am I doing with my life? Air vents in real life versus air vents in movies. A blue guy named Sully has unique access to a hostile species that maintains the most precious resource in the world. He discovers the species is not what he thought, befriending a young female and eventually fighting against his own kind to protect her. Cars in action movies. Still works after being shot 1,000 times. Cars in horror movies. Can't even start. Kylie Jenner is the Ariel we all deserve. There's already enough plastic in the ocean. USA in movies versus USA in real life. That's racist. Why is the black guy the villain? That's racist. Why does the black guy have to get shot? That's racist. Why is it only black people killing each other? That's racist. Why are there no black people in this movie? This movie was so bad, I saw it on a flight and people still walked out. Guys I like versus guys that like me. Who the hell said I liked you? What does it look like I do for a living? Solve mysteries with a dog. Superhero Twitter. Who gives the best inspirational speeches? Optimus Prime had me standing up in the theater like I was gonna fight the Decepticons. My boyfriend is so strong. Your boyfriend is plotting to steal the moon. Never have I seen a what? Okay, you've probably seen this before. When people split up in horror movies instead of sticking together. Guess the movie. Bird Box. Creating the Joker in 1896. Throw him into chemical waste. Creating the Joker in 2019. Throw him into society. Petition for Universal Studios to build Spooky Island from the Scooby-Doo movie. My kids took me to see the Emoji Movie, and now I hate my own kids. The movie Up is utter I tied 57,000 balloons to my house, and my wife still didn't die. Hold up, ain't no way he stole that from the B movie. I don't believe him. Piers Morgans confirms he is not the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2. People in horror movies be like, understand, this was Netflix before Netflix. Don Rickles passed away before he was able to record any dialogue for Toy Story 4. Rather than replacing him, Disney reviewed 25 years of material from the first 3 films, video games, and other media. They were able to assemble enough dialogue to cover the entire film. Disney is built different. Actors give their best performances, just for it to get turned into a meme. America in movies versus America. Literally me. No way. He said it. He said the thing. Hollywood logic. Bad guys don't deserve a nose. The craziest part from Home Alone was that Kevin got all of these groceries for $19. Bullets when they hit. The main character. Side character. Nobody. Bombs in movies. 1 minute later, people be like, this film radiates comfort. Then it's this film. Some days, I'm really productive and get loads done at work. Other days, I just walk around like hey. There is no in between. What inspired human beings to build places like this so they could film John Wick movies in them? There is a movie theater in London that has volunteer ninjas that will hush obnoxious moviegoers. Andrew Garfield at the end of the movie when the other Spider-Mans go and hug their girlfriends. Finally found that movie everyone's been going on about. Let it go. Don't let it go. One day, in an action movie, I want to see a chase scene that ends with an unexpectedly sturdy fruit stand that just totals both cars. One day, it will get its revenge. Cabbages, this time it's personal. If you don't get this reference, you're too young for Tumblr. Are you kidding me? Pixar puts out a movie every year. A baby would get this reference. Fun movie fact, in Toy Story 2, when Woody escapes the plane, he leaves the bottom hatch open, potentially depressurizing the entire aircraft and sending hundreds to their death right after takeoff. This is the original Ghostbusters movie set in in 1984. Every time I sit down to watch a horror movie, I think of that one tweet. No normal person sits down in their room and starts watching a horror movie alone. Are you Satan? Kids in movies will see this on the table, take a sip of orange juice, and say, "I'm late for the bus." Damn, the one on the left looks like he could neatly fold your clothes whilst you're still in them. Unit. Fun fact, this was not CGI. Bill actually just turned into a giant spider in his performance. I've said it once, now I will say it again. An animated movie about this guy would slap so hard. I want a book where the villain gets the girl. I'm so sick of being like, I wish there was a story where insert something that definitely already happened in Megamind. When you eat your popcorn. Trailers. Movie. Ash, I'm not sure you're old enough to watch that. And he will never be. What helicopters do in action movies. Explode. How come I can understand you? Are you using some sort of neural language router? Actually, I'm speaking English, you idiot. This movie, I swear. Always thinking about the sheriff's hat getting bigger in Scary Movie 3. Like, 3 years ago, I went to a movie and the sound broke. So the audience made up the effects for the first 10 minutes. And I still think that 10 minutes was better than the actual movie. Big Hero 6 was such an underrated movie that got overshadowed by Frozen. It did not receive the credit that it so rightfully deserved. Me, stomping to bed after watching a scary movie, so the ghosts know I'm not scared of them. Selena Gomez in New Photo, horror movie characters sitting in the back of an ambulance after almost dying. I want 18 people who can watch a movie with me. I was going to watch it alone, but it says 18 and above. Why is millennial humor so weird? Comedy that appeals to young people can be so real and dark and completely meaningless. Men will literally become the most famous film director in history instead of going to therapy. One Disney movie has to go. Lion King. Nemo's and the Incredible is just amazing. Character in a movie saves another character's life by using a gun to scare the attackers away. Other character gets angry at him for owning a gun. What's an unrealistic thing in movies which bothers you the most? They remove the headrests in cars so they can see the actors better. Me, stalking the entire cast on Google after watching a movie. Everything's just a universal experience at this point. I hope the teenager who got assigned the task of putting up these movie posters got a promotion for his advertising ingenuity. Ingenuity. I don't know. When you think the villain is dead at the end of the movie. The actor in a true story movie. The picture of the actual guy at the end of the movie. Movie characters waking up after getting hit in the head with a sledgehammer and being unconscious for 27 minutes. When someone says the title of the movie in the movie, I keep subtitles on because sometimes I just be snacking too loud. Why is it a thing to go to the cinema and say, I want to see this, to every film advert before the film, and never go to see any of them? New posters for The Incredibles 2. Pedestrians finding a film set at night. Wow, this place looks cool. Union film worker who has been on set for 15 plus hours. Can't wait to visit my home. Oh my, I just signed my first NDA. You are messing up already. You would never make it in Fight Club. Horror movie ads on YouTube that you can't skip. When I was 5, my parents convinced my twin and me to name our goldfish Surf and Turf. Then a year later, after Surf and Turf died, and I saw Surf and Turf on the menu. That is my Joker origin story. I can't believe they made Dumb and Dumber into a real thing. Aesthetic. Behind the scenes shots of actresses posing with their co-stars who are playing monsters that look like couples photos. The only important Michaels. Case closed. Wow, what the hell? Why did the movies come out 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3? In charge of scheduling, I was. That's it. That's the best Star Wars joke ever. How does Spider-Man think of such witty comebacks? Because with great power comes great responsibility. There goes the last great American dynasty. Congrats to Zoe Saldana on winning franchise wars. Thank you. The very first father that mothered. What's it called when Spider-Man climbs walls? If you say acrobatics, I will cut you. I was going to say Peter Parkour, but I like yours better. I went to see Oppenheimer and took pictures of Cillian Murphy like I was at a concert. In the Bee Movie, after the bees win the court case and honey becomes a controlled substance, the ATF becomes the ATFH, which stands for alcohol, tobacco, firearms and honey. Frozen is a great movie because as parents, it teaches us that we will horribly scar our children, then abandon them through death. I still can't believe this is CGI from the year 2006. My Wish.com Freddy mask looks like like he entered my dreams and has seen stuff he wasn't mentally equipped to deal with. What went wrong with the DCU? Wants to be the MCU. Literally rushes out every movie. Ruins a lot of characters. Tries to be dark and edgy. Ended up failing. Okay, so you know how Ghibli movies make the eggs look delicious? Meet the opposite end of the spectrum. And yes, this is from a British movie. The British cook like they hate food. Alien is a movie where nobody listens to the smart woman, and then they all die except for the smart woman and her cat. 4 stars. The Scooby-Doo animated movies didn't have to go that hard, but they did. They did it for us. Just so we're clear, the Grinch never hated Christmas. He hated people, which is fair. Don't date someone you wouldn't have a Harry Potter marathon with. That's nearly 24 hours. I wouldn't do that with anyone. The weak are already weeding themselves out. I'm addicted to thinking I should watch a movie for 2 hours and then not watching one, then thinking, well, it's too late to start one now, then staying up for an additional 2 hours. Just putting this out there. Just another day at the dine-in movie theater. You came in the middle of me crying. Expecting waitstaff to wait until you're finished crying to Blue Beetle is psychopathic behavior. Batgirl holds the world record for longest director's cut, as it features over 90 minutes of deleted scenes. You'll be seeing me at the movies, like every masterpiece has its cheap copy. Did you know some of the scenes from Star Wars are actually filmed on Earth? 7-year-old me going to the movies and leaving with an entirely new personality based on the main character. Sci-fi movies, illogical things that cannot be explained, nanomachine and quantum mechanics. During the filming of the first Jurassic Park movie, Steven Spielberg had extra children just in case the dinosaurs ate one of them, to not slow down production. In the movie Home Alone, the producers thought it would be too mean to use a real girl for the picture of Buzz's unattractive girlfriend, so they used the art director's son. The art director's son walks into makeshift movie studio despite never modeling before, poses as model for Columbia Pictures logo, becomes an iconic symbol of cinema, leaves and never models again. When a human dies in a movie, when an animal dies in a movie. All great stories start with a morning arm stretch and a butt itch. When people split up in horror movies instead of sticking together. Still the greatest movie review ever. 1 star. There were no wolves in this movie. Me, not understanding a movie. Wow. The cinematography. Everyone else really contributes to their fandoms, and I'm just over here in the corner like, spoons. I feel you, man. I have become Tumblr famous, using mainly spoons. This New York City air stuff is not funny, but somebody said this is what it looks like when you get to work but you're blitz and have to head straight into an unexpected meeting. Put Maui's face on Wreck-It Ralph's body. 10 characters who can beat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. US to give away free lighthouses as GPS makes them unnecessary. Me and the fellas when we get our free lighthouse. No man has ever said anything this funny. When I'm depressed, I remember the time Bear Grylls was stung by a bee and morphed into Benedict Cumberbatch, and I find that helps a lot. Stepping outside after spending 2 hours in a dark movie theater when your kiddo wants to be both a hot dog and Michael Myers. Oscar Myers is born. Every movie is a set in a world where that movie doesn't exist. Counter argument. Spaceballs. You choose a movie. My parents, knowing that I'm going to put Captain America, the Winter Soldier, for the 100th time. The screenwriter for Pulp Fiction just gave the Konosuba movie 5 stars. Easily one of the best experiences in a cinema I've ever had. I would go as far as saying it's the reason cinema was invented. Okay, movie idea. Genre. Intro to horror film, like Gremlins. Title, Pac-Man. Movie details. The Lighthouse, 2019, had to be shot in black and white because Robert Pattinson looked like Mario in color. To practice for his role in the new Joker film, Joaquin Phoenix became a gamer and lived in society for 984 days. Me, watching Star Wars CGI that probably cost a fortune to make. Piece of advice, never watch the Lego movie on a 4K TV. A 50-year-old man trying to watch a film for 15 minutes without sleeping. I can't. I'm not strong enough. I lost. Wait a minute. I'm not supposed to lose. Let me see the script. How to properly break the fourth wall. Man only has one mood. Lonely. Girls can love Ryan Gosling all they want, but don't forget that he was an absolute absolute liability in Remember the Titans. If I introduce a movie to you and we watch it together, I will be spending at least 99.9% of the time watching you to make sure you are responding correctly to the film. At cinema with my... Okay, I can't really relate to this, but I want some snacks. No, they're expensive. Dad, this is going to cost $30. I know. When you're showing them your favorite movie and then they leave to go to the bathroom and say, it's okay, just keep it playing. The most unrealistic thing I've ever seen in a movie is when an entire family sits down to eat breakfast together on a weekday. Finally, we've completed the CGI abomination trinity. Heir to the Empire movie. Here we come. I went to the store today and came across this Mario movie advertisement. Green and salty, just like my nuts. Chris Pratt's Mario voice baffles fans after first listen. Holy, it's literally just Chris Pratt's voice. Blockbuster, cancelled by Netflix after one season. Netflix kills Blockbuster again. I'm not saying it's right, but I get it. Film producer robs Florida bank to fund movie. DOJ says, "Sir, I just thought of something horrifying." What? More people have probably seen this meme than the movie it's from. Cringe active movie viewer stays silent the entire movie. Chad passive movie watcher. Don't go in that room. That was funny. Puts my iPod on shuffle and skips every song until I get the one I was hoping for. First try. Actually received this resume today. Work experience. Honestly, not much because I just graduated, but please see below. Game of Thrones expert. Stranger Things expert. Movie directors making children's Christmas movies about believing in Santa, knowing damn well he is real. What do you... This Santa is real. I saw him as a kid. Babu Frick will appear in Mandalorian Season 3. Every time a new Star Wars movie or show is announced, all the fans are like, OMG, Glop Shito is back. CRT televisions. I am literally a radioactive black box. Strange signal goes in, picture comes out. I will not break for 50 years. Modern TVs. Your television needs an update. Please connect to the internet. Comedy movies in 2023. Funny Dog said, fuck, this movie will definitely make a ton of money. Comedy movies in 1998. So the guy who loves bowling gets his rug peed on. You're out of your element, Donnie. Thinking about making a film versus actually making a film. An actor giving their all in a scene and crying and falling to their knees, only to be fated to be used as a reaction video clip in a tweet by user Balls1000 with the caption, "Forgot my lunch at home." The lens flare on this photo looks like Eric Cartman from South Park. I'm only going to say this once, but Jake Gilling looks so much like the lion from Madagascar. Yeah, I think I downloaded this for another video, but accidentally put it in this file. So enjoy a completely unrelated meme. TikTok ruined my mind. Watching the menu with a Subway Surfers video on the side to keep my attention. What was the point in Animal Planet airing those incredibly convincing fake documentaries about dragons and mermaids? If the aim was to convince incredibly gullible children that they were real, it worked on me. At the Disney Pixar office, boss, okay guys, how do we keep this new Toy Story relatable for all the adults who watched the originals growing up? Writer, I've got it. Why am I alive? I'm watching Robin Hood, and I think I found my new favorite reaction image. Remember when John Mulaney was a fish, and he was married to Adam Driver? I love that all the Infinity War promo pictures are super carefully edited and high production value, and then we have Tom cosplayer on a budget, Holland. Romantic movies should be considered as sci-fi, because none of this happens in real life. Greta Gerwig's Barbie makes history. Apparently the third highest grossing film ever directed by a woman is an Alvin and the Chipmunks sequel. Movies in the 1900s, in the 2000s, in 2020. Dentists trying to decide which Ice Age movie to play non-stop in their waiting room. Movies be like, very accurate. American movies, good actors, plot twists, jokes, unneeded doing it scenes. Mourning in the movies. Watching behind the scenes of a superhero movie be like, mourning in real life. Aliens coming to meet humanity. Almost every movie, TV show, and video game depicting them as a disgusting genocidal monster. Did anyone else notice this? No, I did not. Keanu Reeves took a quick break from filming John Wick 2 to walk a pit bull in New York City on Monday, looking terrifying as hell. Hey Pixar, maybe put some louder music in those sad moments so a bitch can sniffle undetected. Tired. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Wired. Home Alone is a Die Hard movie. They are all real. I did not know this. Movies about bad/absent fathers whose redemption is only possible via magic. This is still an incredible piece piece of film criticism. Jurassic Park sequels will never be better than this shot. Also gotta love it because it makes zero sense that the letters are projected like that, but Spielberg would never let a silly thing like logic get in the way of an awesome image. Guy waking up in Saw Trap if Saw was British. Right, what's all this then? Oi bruv, fancy a game? This movie is an insult to movies and art in general. The fact that it exists and made over $1 billion is disgusting. Twitter Blue verified subscribers cannot upload 2-hour-long videos. Fuck it, Shrek the Third. Me. How much is rent for this gorgeous apartment? Sir, this is a liquor store. I went to the cinema last night. The man sat in front of me, had his dog with him. The dog seemed really engrossed in the film. When the film ended, I said to the owner, "This might sound weird, but your dog seemed to enjoy that." Yes, I was surprised too. He hated the book. We appreciate all the comments, guys. Typically, an open book. Ask us anything. Everyone involved in the making of this movie should be jailed. Original 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie Goomba head prop. Sold to a collector in 2013. After 20 years in storage, the material deteriorated, giving the Goomba an even more frightening appearance than in the movie. My absolute favorite thing in movies is when someone is looking at a childhood picture of a character and they use actual childhood pictures of that actor, and you just know the actor had to call their mom to get them, and she was so happy about it. A friendly reminder that when you used to rent videos from us, we didn't care who you shared it with, as long as you returned it on time. You had the chance to buy Netflix and passed on it. I'm an intern. I barely have permission to have a lunch break. I didn't pass on anything. Movie leaks. Aha, this character dies. No! Boiler leaks. Your locomotive crown sheet has failed. I have died in a boiler explosion. People in movies. We must destroy them. They are only machines. People in real life. This is my new rover. I will name him Oppie, and we will be best friends forever. Villains. Put a 5-minute bomb so they have time to run away. Put a 5-hour bomb so the hero has enough time to turn it off. This poster for the Jurassic Park movie that had been hidden for 25 years was recently uncovered by a storm. Christopher Nolan's next film will be played on the Sphere in LA. You can watch my film on any screen, but there's only one place you can truly see it. Me, when a 300-foot tall Batman is towering over me at the Sphere. Daniel Craig believes James Bond should not be a woman. I read the article. He essentially said that instead of trying to fit a woman into this role, they should write an original character better than James Bond for a woman. What gets wetter and wetter the more it dries? The eyeball? Skin? A fish? Interviewer: if you are a villain, you need to be intelligent. So I've got a riddle to see if you're up for the task of world domination. Sigh. A towel, guys. The answer is towel. A fish? Skin. Really? I thought you had learned some moisturizing. I'm done. The funniest part of Aladdin is when the Sultan goes, "Ah, Jafar, my most trusted advisor," and it cuts to Jafar like this. I will never understand why Sweeney Todd is such an underrated film on Tumblr. I mean, it's a musical about cannibalism, featuring attractive psychopaths, and the cast is 90% British. My friend Rachel refers to this movie as Johnny Depp slaughters the cast of Harry Potter. Accurate. What are your robot serial numbers? Start beatboxing. Literally, what the hell is the Lego Movie? I've only seen GIFs, and they make it all look like completely separate things. They can't possibly be one plot. It's like Toy Story on drugs, and it's great, the scene. So you could be watching in 50 years time. Easy. I'll not be here, sadly, but Hagrid will. Yes, the cameraman. Would you rather have unlimited money or be a superhero with powers and a costume of your choice? Unlimited, superpower, fuck it. I would have the power of flying, and my costume would be my average outfit, I guess. Damn, I just realized Ratatouille. The movie used a dish that has rat in it. It's the pun. Yeah, you're doing this on purpose now. I genuinely just never looked back on that movie, and when I first watched it, I didn't know English, so it just hit now. What's the Polish word for rat? Oh shit, I may have to let you go this time.